Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Put the kids to bed. It's us. We ran a little bit late. Kids is on location in a different site. But here we go. Yo. Welcome to another edition of Some Extra Sauce. Well, we're about to run an audible tonight because my guy's on location. We want to do a little something. I needed a little light night, man, because I've been doing a lot. And this is going to be a very light night. It's going to be full of content. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But we pulled out the UFO and Doomsday Survival and replaced it with something I think you guys are going to enjoy a little bit more. Some classic hip-hop record reviews, got a couple of movie reviews, some food and drink, man, and we're going to do it like that tonight, man. But welcome on into the show. Sorry we're late, man, but as you can see, Kez is on location in another spot, and we had to make sure his communications were A-okay, and we are here, man. Good show tonight, man. We got a lot of Bears content. Not so much Bears content to talk about, but we do have a little bit, man. But welcome on in one more time. But let me go ahead and throw this rock on over to wherever. I don't even know if he's still in Canada. Throwing on over to the.
I am in Canada. Location to be, we'll just call it BF Nowhere Canada. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle of Nothingsville. But yeah, I'm out here. We're doing business. Business is booming. Business like AB business is booming. Business is looking good. We out here, man. We're doing our thing. I was able to sort of get things squared away in a slapdash MacGyver capacity, and we're gonna have ourselves a show. What it do, Cornelius? What's up, Wendy? Shout out to Lord Crimson who just jumped in. Shout out to the chat. You know how it is. We'll do it like we always do, and welcome to Extra Sauce. It's Wednesday, y'all. Trip.
Yeah, what up to everybody jumping in and enjoying in the chat, whether it be from the Nomad Network or Kids of Canuck or Sports Chicago Style, also known as Triple R SES. Make sure you are subscribed to all three. We got some Bears news. We got some camp stuff going on, and Nomad mentioned we got some music stuff. So it'll be a nice Wednesday evening. So thanks for joining us, and let's have a good old time.
Shout out to Julie Pounds 9226. His name is Sammy. Shout out to you, new person in here. I haven't seen him in here before, but maybe you were here before. I didn't know. Welcome on in, my man.
What up, Benji?
About to have a good time, man. Hang around here. You have a good time. So, hey, man, listen. Let's get real. Kids kind of went there with this, with the personal, man. Let's get personal and get human for a second. We're going to get right on into it.
So that means I got to get personal again. I don't have that. Not much going. I'm just saying, not much going on with me other than being on location. Except these two guys I work with decided to take off and do a 2-hour lunch while I'm at the conference. I was not impressed by that. I don't want to put both these guys on blast. I won't share your names, but y'all, what's up with that, y'all? Anyways, I definitely plan to take a 2-hour lunch tomorrow. So enjoy holding it down for me while I disappear and go F the D if you are familiar with the term.
F the D. What does that mean? Go back to your room and churn out some fresh butter?
No, I'm not surprised that's where your brain was, but no, it's a term.
You surprised?
No, I'm not at all. Not even remotely surprised. But you're not too far off though. It's I'm not going to define the term on this show. We'll be semi-politically correct today, at least for this little part, for the personal part. But for those of you who understand what F the D is, I'll translate for Triple R later on.
Shock the monkey? No, that's different.
No, you're still in the same headspace.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. What Twitch's mind is that? Come on.
Hey, man. A lot of that does tend to happen in the hotel room, so I can kind of understand why his head's there. But
And the first thing that you touch is the remote control.
Damn.
So every time you check into a hotel room, make sure you sterilize and sanitize that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there's a lot of that been going on in that hotel.
That's why I said, "Damn!" I was like, "Yeah, I definitely had the remote in my hand for some period of time today." So I may have to clean my hands here. So
and let's just hope your hand was the only place you stuck it.
Oh damn, man! I'm here on business.
Makes me think about
dirty business
undercover shows. They go in there with the blue light and this just.
No, you don't want to do that.
It's all a crud. You'll never lay down in a hotel again if you do that.
Yeah, I ain't trying to blue light this place, man. That is a nightmare waiting to happen.
Yeah, everywhere. All up, probably on the ceiling, everywhere else.
Damn.
Ceiling fan, anything in there.
Well, we ain't got no ceiling fan. We got an air conditioner.
You ever figured out why if somebody gets a hotel, they feel like
we got no ceiling fan. We got an air conditioner. You ever tried? Sorry, say that again.
Why do people feel like they need to do the most in a hotel room?
Because they ain't got to clean it up.
Yep.
I mean, it's the same reason that when you rent a car, you be doing donuts and shit. Because you don't care. It's not mine. I'm taking it back. I got the full coverage on it. You know, as long as I get it back in there, that's their problem. Hotel room, I can get the ceiling pregnant. I can get the walls pregnant. It don't matter, you know, because I don't live here. I'm leaving in a minute.
You know, one of the things I used to do, man, I used to love a nice jacuzzi, like a really nice suite with a jacuzzi in it. But before I even step foot in that place, I'm in there with all kinds of cleaning supplies. I'm in that jacuzzi, and I'm telling you, when I get done with that bad boy, that thing you can eat out of. I'm telling you, that's how vigorously I clean that area, because I know it's gonna be some wild shit jumping off in that jacuzzi, and so I'm gonna make sure it's clean. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna probably bring my own bedspread, my own sheets, 1,000 thread sheets. I'm gonna go there.
I'm gonna bring your whole crib to the hotel.
If I'm gonna go to the hotel, which I did a lot, I'm gonna do that shit right. And if that takes me a couple hours, extra to do, I don't mind doing that.
Real talk, the amount of money you just kind of ran through, unless you own all that shit, then you might just get a higher end hotel. You know what I mean? A higher end room that you can actually trust that they send somebody in there and clean that shit up.
Because it's higher end that people still aren't disgusting pigs.
You got a misunderstanding going on.
No. People are disgusting pigs. Don't get me wrong. I would just like to think that maybe if I spent a couple of bucks more, the cleaning staff might actually take care of business. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're wrong.
Okay. So much for that.
You're wrong. There's no way, with the amount of people traipsing in and out of those rooms, there's no way to get those things fully clean.
Damn,
it's impossible.
Mm-hmm. I ain't trying to go to a hotel.
They can't clean every inch and every molecule and every loose piece of DNA.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not trying to clean all that, man. That's crazy.
Hotel means cohabitation, bro. Cohabitation means spread.
And just hope the person before you didn't have bed bugs or something.
Oh snap! You're laughing. That's rampant out here, though. That one I can attest to, man. That one's crazy.
Even saying that, man. Why would you say some shit? That's just
because it's true, like man. He's not even front.
That means a lot.
He's not even front.
I wouldn't have said it, man. You just opened up a Pandora's box there.
Well, it's a real, that box was real. It really exists. You know what I'm saying?
And Pandora ain't in there by herself. She got a whole lot of insects with her.
It's true, man. A lot of them hotels have that going on, and they, you know what I mean. And they don't say, like, that ain't in the reviews or in the advertisements. They don't say nothing about that. And you'll go up in that hotel and come back scratching, which is not recommended. But pay attention, man, or at least talk to other. The only real way to it's kind of word of mouth on that bed bugs one. You got to talk to people about their experiences staying in certain places. And man, I was about to stay in this one hotel chain. I'm not going to name it. I don't put them on blast. But I was in Toronto, and I was headed to my head office of my old job. And I'm about to book this hotel, and I wind up talking to this VP. And we're just talking. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm headed to Toronto. I'm talking because I'm going to meet her for lunch when I get out there. We're gonna hang out a little bit and chat it up and go for lunch. I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm about to book this hotel. I'm gonna stay at this hotel, and that's close to the restaurant that we can go to. We'll meet at the restaurant. She was like, you're gonna stay where? I was like, yeah, I'm staying at this hotel. I got a great rate. I'm ready to go. I'm just about to pull the trigger on this deal. And she's like, oh my God, don't do that. You know what I mean? and just shut it down. And I was like, why? She's like, oh, that place, you know why you got that good deal? You know what I'm saying? She went right to the money. She's like, you know why you got that good deal, right? Yeah, they are famous in the in the Greater Toronto area for having having bed bugs all over the building. So if you pay the extra $50 and you won't leave the building scratching. Mm-hmm. Pay the extra $50. So I found another hotel, needless to say, and yeah. We good.
Hey kids, the cleanest you're gonna be surprised when I tell you this. I've been in some pretty ritzy hotel rooms in my day, and I'm telling you, I believe 100% the cleanest motel I ever stayed in. Not hotel, it's a motel, but it's cleaner than all hotels I've ever been in.
Wow,
a Motel 6, bro.
You're kidding me.
It was an older white lady, middle-aged white lady, who was tweaking. They gave me the key to that thing, and she wasn't done with it. And she was tweaking. When I say she was tweaking, she was all over that MF. I mean, all over. She said, I can't stand nasty. She was one of them OCD people. She was under that
OCD people, like aliens.
I mean, they are, man, kind of
obsessive. Yeah, I mean, so unless it was clean, it wasn't clean.
She wasn't playing. It made me. I had to wait. You know, me and person I was kicking it with that day, I had to wait an extra 45 minutes to her. I was just like, she was talking to me at the door. She just like, you don't mind me if I just got to make sure it's clean for you. I just can't stand anything. I just, yeah, that's exactly what I did, man. We went and cranked up some sounds, man. Burnt one. Shit. By the time
came back and it was good.
Because, but you do know that, well, not everyone, but you want to avoid typically any hotel, motel, Holiday Inns that have hourly rates. You know.
Oh, yes.
You know, Don't even mess around.
Because that's a lot of, let's say prostitution and crackheadery and all kind of things going on.
We don't even have, like, there's one, okay, I'm lying to you. There's one joint where I'm at that has that. Two motels in two different skeevy parts of town that have the hourly. But like, you go to Montreal, there's some very shady establishments, and the proprietors resemble the establishment. Montreal's crazy for it. But
or what do they call them? Transient hotels.
You know what?
Big time.
I had a couple of teammates that played in Montreal, and they say similar things.
Brother, they would know all about that because you can't. What's crazy though, like, and it's crazy. Like at some of these establishments, these transient establishments, they'll have super high end rooms, bro. Like I walked into one, like I was in Montreal, and I had to stay the night. I wasn't planning to stay the night. It was like a haphazard thing, just happened to be what went down. And like I was like, okay, so I had to check out a couple hotels and see what the rates are before I decide to stay. And it was like during a parade, so it was really like there weren't a lot of rooms out there. So the first like 5 rooms I went to was all like $350 Canadian and up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really trying to spend $350, and I ain't trying to go to no motel. So I got to find some sort of happy medium. But then I rolled up into this one spot, and there was just a dude who kind of came out like rubbing his hands, and I was like, oh no, like you know what I mean? He had a purple suit and he was rubbing his hands, and
I need a room, little boy.
Like I knew he was up to no good. But then he was like, oh, I was like, so what are your rates? He's like, well, the rates are all on the wall on that monitor. And I was like, oh, okay. So I go over, I look at his monitor, and there's like a scrolling list of rooms. And it's just like starting at like $3,000, like $3,000 for this crazy room. And then they list the amenities, and it's like a heart-shaped bed, 2 different hot tubs in there. It's crazy. I'm like, this is wild. I would never have expected anything like that in here, because you're like, regular room is like $75. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they got them Sybaris suites.
It ranged from nothing to
Sybaris.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Because Sybaris it's like it's not a resort, but it's a individual, like,
it's a wine and dine.
Yeah, I mean, they got it's a hotel room, but it's attached to like jacuzzis, and they got the hookup for the swings from the ceiling.
Oh, damn!
Keep the swing in the closet, and
no,
so it's like
that.
individual things, but it's all like upper tier. They got different, the bigger whirlpool versus a smaller one, but they don't have the same ones with like the $35 an hour stabbing cabins. Those are different establishments.
Wendy, that's classic. That's great. Wendy says, "Heart bed by yourself is crazy work. That's a 1-2 hour special rate room." No,
well,
man,
no, but you're not only in a heart bed. You're gonna put a couple coins in and make it vibrate.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I got a much lower caliber room that did have a hard bed. I was with the wife. It wasn't just me by myself. And straight up and down, you chuck a couple quarters in that MF and it's shaking.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
I saw it
an arcade?
Or something.
Yeah, you can't be doing that when you're drinking. Man. You've been somewhere drinking. That's the worst thing in the world, man. Hey, man. Hey, look. I don't know if you guys got this out there in Canada, but you guys got any pay and stay kind of hotels?
No.
So out here, you pay, basically it's weekly.
Oh, for like long term?
Yeah, like long term living. They pay.
Yeah. Okay. No, they do. They do. There's a couple.
So as a temp, as I was running that temp service, man, I got a contract with a company over in Decatur, Georgia, that had like 3 or 4 of them around Decatur, Lithonia, Stone Mountain. They had a few of them out there, and we had workers at all of them. And so I got to go through there every now and again because it can get kind of some ruffians can come through there. Let's just say, you know what I mean? But I remember this one lady that wouldn't allow, the team to go in there and clean her room. She just insisted on doing her own room. I ran into her one day. They used to always talk about this, like, we don't ever have to go in this room. She just won't let nobody clean her room. I was like, don't worry about it, man. Just go on about your business and go to the next one. And so I ran into her. Another middle-aged lady. This lady's room looked like a god doggone palace. When I tell you it looked like a palace, I mean, she had gold shit. I mean, it was beautiful in there. She's just like, you know what? If I'm going to live around these ruffians, I ain't going to feel like I'm living around them. You know what I mean? Because you some rough cats that be running up through there, man. Cats that be pimping and doing all kind of slanging and all kind of craziness going on, man. But she just refused. That was her situation, but she refused to submit to the idea that it's got to be rough for me. You know what I mean? So I just respect it. I can't think of her name right now, but Lord, every time I went out there and showed her some love, man. I was just like, you know what? I respect that. Somebody that's in between, places is, she was there for at least 7 months.
Damn. Yeah, you might as well make it feel like home if that's the case.
That's exactly what
you're right in there.
Exactly what.
Yeah, no, we got We got some of them up here, man, but they're few. It's like the same two. It's the same two motels I was telling you about in the skeevy parts of town. So that they do monthly rates. Crimson, you're hilarious, but like you're definitely like you're like those good white people. You know what I mean? You're out there in the tent. I can't never. Like my wife is like that. You couldn't catch. You'll never catch. Yeah, it's something like that. No, just like good old white folks. They'll tent up, man.
Yeah, the tree huggers out there with nature and communion and barefoot and shit.
Something like that. I don't
out
really
there where the bear shit. That's where they shit too.
See, I can't. You'll never catch me doing it. This is where doomsday survival takes a left field from me. You know what I mean? It's like if they ain't no toilet paper, I'm ass out.
Find some leaves.
I got a problem.
How dare you, sir?
Nomad, what's Nomad gonna do? They won't have wet wipes out there.
Acorns.
They got a wet lake somewhere, a wet river, pine cones and shit.
Acorns.
Damn.
That's your backup right there.
Hey, bro,
that's not backup at all.
Hey man,
well, no, because like you can't figure out the shells in what is it, Japan? They got the shells, and the shells ain't nothing but acorns.
Camping is camping is so overrated. If you don't have a cabin, it is so overrated.
That's what I'm talking about.
You don't like sleeping on the ground? Come on.
No, man. I am not a fan. I'm trying to get up and have my back.
Most people travel with a roll up, a little cushion.
A bedroll.
Oh, you mean like or even an air mattress? I can't do any of that stuff. I need a freaking. I need a bed, like a real actual mattress,
and none with the pump. You turn it on and it fills itself up.
No, man, because then you wake up in the morning, you on the ground anyways.
If you need to go camping and in a tent to fill some kind of void, you running from a shitty life, my boy. Because that ain't no fun, bro. That is no fun.
He said roughing it is not fun.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm
gives you an opportunity to commune with nature.
Mosquitoes.
Man, I commune with nature every time I go outside. That's all I need.
The most he'll do, he'll kick off his Birkenstocks and walk barefoot through the front.
I will walk. I will feel the grass. I will touch the earth. I'll touch the earth. If I'm on a beach, I will touch the sand. I'll get in the water.
Fuck you and your campsites.
I'm not sleeping on the damn ground. I don't give a shit. Don't go to jail, kids. You're damn straight. You're damn straight, bro. I'm staying on the outside.
Funny thing is, the first time I had a camping experience, I was up by you, literally up by you. And I told you, we ventured into Canada and ran into a Mountie, and we didn't realize we were in Canada. And I'm telling you, bro,
where the hell were you? You ran into a Mountie. Like I've been in Canada that's crazy. I'm just saying. I've been in Canada the better part of my whole life. A little bit of Jamaica, a little bit of Florida, and the only Mountie I've ever seen is my uncle. I know he's a Mountie, you know what I mean? So I've seen him. Like that's I've never seen him with his Mountie gear on or on a horse. I've never seen him do any of that. But I have an uncle who's a Mountie. He lives out in the East Coast, and he used to be about it. But that's it.
Mosquitoes were so bad.
Oh yeah, mosquitoes are crazy out here, man. They're ridiculous.
I mean, I ain't never seen those kind of mosquitoes.
I hear they're bad out by you too.
Nah, nowhere near that is that. Unless you somewhere
that's down to Florida.
If you around Lake Michigan on one of those islands or some shit like that, or somewhere in the wooded area
by Michigan and shit.
Lake Forest, I hear parts of Lake Forest and Crystal Lake, it can get pretty rough because it got a lot of woods out there.
All right, so this is the second time I heard about Crystal Lake this week. I have to ask a question to Chicagoans. Is Jason Voorhees from the Illinois area?
You know what his name is? Mr. Shorty. He's from Crystal Lake.
I know, that's where I heard. I was watching BCP, and actually no, I'm lying to you. I was watching yo, shout out to Foul. I was watching their show. I was watching Clubhouse yesterday, and Shorty was on it, and he was talking about Crystal Lake, and I was like, wait a minute, Crystal Lake?
No, I think that was Lake Michael Batunga or something.
No, it's Crystal Lake, bro. We'll figure this out later on.
Jason Voorhees, right? That not Michael Myers. I always get those confused.
See, no, not Michael Myers. Jason Voorhees.
You know these lyrics. Your whole camp is under siege, and I'm Jason Voorhees. In the heat of the night is when I defeat and ignite. Oh, you don't even know, bro. You don't know.
Is this Keith Murray? Is this a Keith Murray rap?
That's Corrupt.
Okay, that's fair.
Corrupt. Let's see. Camp Crystal.
Yo, he's Corrupt is doing an album, I believe, with Rakim and Master Killer from Master Unaliver, from the Wu-Tang Clan. They're putting a project together.
It's Camp Crystal Lake.
See, Crystal Lake. So
Crystal Lake there's no camp in front of it. It's just Crystal Lake.
Okay.
Whereas Camp somebody's different.
Okay.
So it's similar, but no cigar.
Okay.
Crystal Lake.
Yeah, but you know how Shorty be on that catnip though. So
yeah, man.
I think they call them hallucinogens in some places.
Okay.
Those mosquitoes up there are unreal, bro. Unreal. I ain't never been bit so much in my life.
Mm-hmm. They can taste the every sweet tart, every cinnamon roll that you ever tasted in your blood.
Damn, JCN, that's crazy.
What's that?
JCN, he says, I saw somewhere there was a Mountie in Canada, and he was looking for a young moose. This is like the wildest.
A young moose.
This is the wildest Canadian story of all time.
Get rid of that, man.
And they said it had brainworms or something, and it was walking around with its head tilted, and he unalived it. Go figure. So. Moose exist. They run around sometimes. You see them. I've seen one moose in my life, and straight up, it was friggin' huge, y'all. It was a moose up. It's a big.
Well, yeah, but I mean, because Rocky and Bullwinkle, it was a moose and a squirrel, right?
Yeah, but they make Bullwinkle look like such an approachable guy. Like you would never, you know what I mean? You would never approach no moose, y'all. A moose is like straight up. It's like if a deer went to the gym and took steroids. You know what I mean? Like and came out the gym just surly and angry. And like that's like a moose.
Yeah.
And like they're you can see it. You can just see muscles coming out of nowhere. They're nuts. Yeah, crazy. I didn't like I say, I don't see many Mounties or moose in Canada for as long as I've lived there.
Are you sure you're in Canada?
I am. I'm in the good part.
Okay.
I don't know about where everybody else is living, but I'm in like the city. I'm in the capital.
I've seen some wildlife shows, whether it be bush people, all kinds of shows I like to watch out there. But yeah, man, those are some huge animals, man, and people take them down, for that's your winter supply of meat or year supply of meat.
Yep. Yeah, that would last you a year, man. That's just the sheer size of that would last you a year. They are massive. Like JCN's Hobbs is saying, they're almost as big as an elephant. I don't know if that's a real fair comparison, but they're not only are they big, but they're jacked, man. They're strong.
I seen one time made a person look like, I mean, it was huge.
Like a child.
I mean,
right?
Like very small. I mean, like I seen a reel on Instagram one day. I was just like, holy crap, this thing must be like 50 years old. Well, this was huge.
They don't have like claws and teeth like that, and they living out there in the wilderness amongst stuff that I'm sure would love to dine on their delectable moose meat, So they got to be able to protect themselves some kind of way, and maybe it's just the sheer mass of themselves and the strength.
The wolves, the only thing that's going to take that down, and it's going to take a whole pack of them. Maybe a bear, maybe a big grizzly or something like that, but a big grizzly don't want nothing to do with that big old thing. He's going to look for a younger one or something. But yeah, man, that's crazy. Camping is off the chain. You want to hear some good news?
What's that?
Man,
did you make some progress with your bush?
I finally took it down today. And you know what? All the tools I had.
That was very well worded, Triple R. But continue.
Yeah, I'm not listening to Trip right now.
Tell it right over his head.
You shouldn't either. Just ignore this.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I have to validate stuff like this, man.
What up, Book? This fell up in here. J-Skin Hobbs. Let me see. Wendy, Squalls. Everybody.
Did you burn it?
No, man. You know what? I one tool I didn't use on that thing was a maul.
A maul.
Okay, you don't know what a maul is?
Like
it's half hammer, half axe.
Yeah, I thought you would need something a bit sharper for that.
Maul is pretty sharp. It's not like shitty sharp, but it's got an edge to it. But the heaviness bangs through a whole lot more than you might think because it's got the hammer on it.
Oh yeah, and that's
so it's part sledgehammer, part axe.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I finally got that thing where I needed it to be, and got the pounding on that thing, east, west, north, south, just to loosen it up on all sides. And I finally cracked that boy from the east, and it broke today.
Yeah. One crack, and then it's like all downhill.
Bro, I was so relieved. I told my mom, I said I should bronze.
He missed that one too.
I'm not listening to Trips, man. Anyway, man, Trips messing me all up, and you are too. It was y'all just don't know what I just went through with that thing, man.
Well, it's been only 2 weeks.
Oh God,
3.
but
hey, who's counting?
No, he's right. This is the third week. This is the third week right here. And
it's going to take you 3 weeks to get out one bush.
One bush, bro. That should tell you when I finally pull the root out of it. If I drop that thing in your arm, Triple R, you'd be like, "Man, hold on, man. I need some help taking this to the alley." That thing was strong, bro. I mean, heavy as all get out, bro. And bro, you just don't know, man. I told my mom I should bronze this motherfucker like some baby shoes or something. Hang it over my window or something in my rearview mirror or something. God damn. It was not just because it was thick, it's because how it was sitting right there and growing underneath the sidewalk. And so you gotta figure out a way to get underneath there and break that. And so it was just, and it was fresh and it's new. It's not like old and had like dead limbs on it. It was a fresh, young, growing tree, and you had to cut it. Mm-hmm. So it's not like brittle, nowhere on it. You have to cut it, dig to it, and cut it. And every day you're gonna have to nip a little piece of that thing off.
And you know how many auxiliary or ancillary roots did you have to cut through before you get into the main vein, if you will?
That was probably the worst part of it. Is finding all the stuff, the hanger-ons, bro. That was probably the worst part of it. Not only that, I finished that today and then got another one similar to that today. Now I got a system with the maul and the chainsaw. You use a chainsaw to kind of get some of them smaller roots and use that maul to hack at the base of that thing. And that maul, the heavy maul, can do a lot more than you might imagine just because of the sheer weight of it. And then, I got a nice little edge on it. So it's doing work now. And I feel like I'm going to be able to take down at least a stump a day. And it's probably like 20 of them out there.
Well, so let's see. One stump took 3 weeks and you trying to talk about a stump a day?
No, this one was unique. The first one was very unique. Today, I started on one today that had a bigger base than it, and just because it wasn't surrounded by concrete or anything like that, I got that bad boy down about an hour and a half. Got it all the way up.
Wait, so you say how many bushes you got to get rid of? 20?
About 20 of them bad boys. Maybe I haven't even count them, but it's somewhere.
So that's like an all summer kind of thing.
It's 20, man. I can get over there and get one of them in a day.
All right, so a month. Shit.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna be sore as him.
Was an MF now, bro. My hands, hey, Trips. My hands look like effing boxing gloves from the last time I was over there from just smashing shit like that with that maul. And then I had to turn around. My garden is planted now, and so I had to go handle the tiller and dig it. And what was unique and what was unique about that this year, Trips, is because I had so many leaves on it, to feed the earth. And so I had to turn it up. I couldn't just graze over it
all the way up.
I had to turn all that shit over. So every step was like turning the ground over. You got to lift the tiller up and push down into the earth.
That's good for you.
Man, my hands are like freaking boxing gloves, bro.
But I know you ain't too proud for no tub of Epsom salt at the end of the day either, right?
Nah, man. You just eat some fruit, eat some vegetables, man.
Get some Epsom salt.
Nah, I ain't need to do all that. My body recovers pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, you holler us after about bush number 8.
I ain't worried about it, man. Uh-huh. If I was in bad shape or something, I'd probably be a little more daunting. It's just work,
man. So, those axe swings, where you got to build up that momentum, and where the maul, builds on it and takes it and enhances it. You got to generate that. And I know you got to go lefty every now and then, and righty, you got to switch it up. You got to go different angles and stuff.
It's once you get away from the concrete, you can work 360 degrees around it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't
have accessibility.
Yeah, that was the worst part about it. Is sitting under the concrete, and you only had so many angles at those roots. And man, dude, it's if you don't mind working, man, it's gravy.
Mm-hmm. See, Kez knows all about that. Back in the day, only bush he was trying to get rid of was hidden beneath a pair of Levi's jeans.
You're damn straight. That's I'm trying to get rid of her now. What's up, baby? Oh man, hey, I do have one little thing to talk about, man, before we get into real shit. But this week I had 2 different scam calls. Like I get them all the time, but these 2 were kind of unique. So be vigilant, y'all. Pay attention to what's out there. What's happening, at least to me on my phone, and it may happen to you on yours, is they will call you with an idea of a service that you might have and ask if you've authorized to have the password changed. And if you have not authorized to change the password, press 1. So even though I'm a cybersecurity guy, I figure I have a service with this company that they've identified, and I didn't authorize it to change, so I press 1. And maybe an hour later, a guy calls me. And I was like, hey, did you say that like somebody tried to change your password? And I was like, no, like y'all kind of said it, but what do you want? And he goes into this spiel of like, all right, so we're going to help you out. No problem. You've gone through the right motions. We won't change the password for you, sir. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a ticket here on our side. We're going to send that ticket to you via email. And you need to click on that ticket and authorize that we have not changed your password. And I like, as soon as he said all that, I was like, oh, yeah, you scamming, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So again, I've done a fair amount of cybersecurity training. Once they want you to go into an email account and change or like and click on anything, that's how they'll get access to your system, whether it's a phone or whether it's a computer. So I was like, okay, everything's cool, buddy. I basically told you that if they're trying to change my password, I didn't authorize that. So you can ensure that the password isn't changed. You can action that by not changing my password. And I ain't clicking on shh. You know what I'm saying? I ain't clicking on a damn thing. So the guy kept going and kept trying to get me to change. Don't, sir, I need you to authorize this ticket. So please, if you would go into your emails, like no. So if you're a cybersecurity guy, which you claim to be, you would know very well that I probably shouldn't. It's not my best interest to go to this thing and click on anything that you're sending me, because like, who are you? I don't trust you. Click. So I hang up on this guy. 2 days later, I get another one of these calls for a different account, and I'm like specifically not telling you what type of accounts they are, but for a different account. And this guy, this new guy, hollers at, or I got a new ghost call, and it says the same thing. Have you authorized the change? I press 1, and this time the guy called me back so fast. He called me back in maybe 2 minutes, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, they're monitoring me. They want my money. They want something from me. So when they call back this time, I let the guy go through his spiel, and he's like, okay, sir, you didn't authorize the change. Very good. And this guy sounds super cool, right? And it's like, you didn't authorize the change. No big deal. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you we've created a ticket. We're going to send you via email. You should jump into that ticket and go ahead and authorize it. And once you do authorize it, you're good to go. And I go, hey, bro, again, I'm very well cybersecurity trained, and there's no way you're going to get me to click this thing. By the way, y'all called me 2 days ago about a completely different account. And the homie was so dynamic. Like, this guy was good. He's a good scam artist. I had to give him props during the call. He goes, oh, sir. Oh, hold on. He types. He does some typing. And he goes, did you get a call from these two services? And I'm like, yeah, from one of them, as a matter of fact. There's no way that you work for this company and the other company. There's no way. How would you even know that? And he stopped and he's like, oh, snap. Like, you clearly know that I'm scamming. You know what I mean? Like, you clearly know that I'm scamming. And I'm laughing, my regular laugh. The guy stopped. He's like, sir, you have one of the heartiest laughs I've ever heard in my entire life. So he starts laughing with me. I'm laughing with him. And he goes, so if I send a push notification to your phone, you're probably not going to click it, right? And I'm like, dude, you're such a fucking scam artist. This is hilarious. And we're just going back and forth having banter about how scammy this thing is, to the point that he stops. He's like, so, like, the account we're trying to get in, how much money is in there? If you want to just tell me how much money is in there. I'm like, I'm broke, dog. There's not a lot of money in there. You're kind of wasting your time. Anyways, it was funny. Be vigilant. Keep your eyes out for scammers. They are rampant out there. And it was a really interesting conversation I had with this guy, because he basically just admitted to me, like, on the phone, yeah, bro, I'm trying to scam you straight up. Like, here, I'm going to send a push notification to your phone, even though you well know not to click on this push notification. Are you going to click it?
They got farms of these motherfuckers out here, man. But I'm talking about real farms of them. But
in the U.S.?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, wait. Like, he sounded...
International, in U.S. internationally, they got them for text messages, for email, for actual phone calls.
Wow,
yeah, they're everywhere, man. Indian, like, Scrolls was being an asshole, but Nigerian.
No, he's not. He straight up.
Not, but he's being an asshole about it. But it's true.
But it's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's true. I was just so the first guy, So the first guy was he's definitely Indian trying to scam me. And that was part of the reason why I was like, I don't trust this call at all. The second guy sounded like he was from Minnesota, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, he sounded like like, what's funny is, like, I met this Indian guy when I was in Amsterdam, and we were talking about stuff like this. He's like, yeah, I work at a call center. I'm a straight up scam artist. That's what we do. And I was like, cool. And he goes, watch this. And he busts out his American accent for me. And I was like, damn, like, I wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? You practice this all the time. He's like, I do. It's pretty good, isn't it? I was like, yeah, dog, that's crazy.
But here's the thing, though. There are those newfangled, scams electronically, but like your old standbys are just straight up cold calling out of the phone book, representing your local either sheriffs, state police, or local police unions. None of that money ever goes to those unions, but the telemarketers are on the phone in the representation and voice of actual cops and law enforcement. And intimidation factors, you don't donate, I'll see you on the highway kind of things, and unshady, unsavory things just to steal money in the name of something good like law enforcement or like orphans or kittens or puppies. So they will play on your emotions and sympathies, and that's all countries will do it.
Crazy.
What? JCN just hit it, and it's basically an old people hit farm. That's what it is. Playing on people's sensibilities. And one of them, I just seen a reel about this the other day. One of them was talking about, how Scrolls was just talking about a lot of them be Indian, some of them are African, and they play on the fact that you can't understand
the accent.
And then send you to the next person. They send you to the next person that you can totally understand, and then that's how they reel you in.
Well, then, like Crimson's saying stuff that isn't real, but there are things that are real, like tech support. Especially with the older generation, like our generation. We were around when computers were invented, so we've been playing with them since that. But generations before us and this newfangled stuff, they don't know. So
they have no idea.
A pop-up message comes on or something freezes, and it's like, hey, did this happen to you? It's like, yeah. Well, call us up and we'll give you a free analysis of your system, and they don't know. So it's like, sure. And so now they the scammers have their entry point into these people's lives. And whether they have a lot of money in the account is one thing, but they still have an identity that can be stolen, and that can be monetized down the line in the nefarious parts of the dark web, and leaving the human beings to have to deal with the repercussions. And it's like, got to get lawyers and got to, do new IDs or new phone numbers and changes that all come with that. And it's a $1 billion industry, scamming people. The multi-level marketing shits, the pyramid schemes, all of
that. All right, man. You know what? Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Scrolls, Scrolls is too much, man.
We got to get to some Bears when we got to start with this, man. I got some things to say about this because it's been too long. And Caleb, this was just a rumor the other day when we were talking about it, but Caleb made the Madden cover, and I think for the first time for a Chicago Bear. And
what I didn't notice about this cover, and I'm so glad you posted it here right now. The snow. Very fitting.
Okay.
What a perfect
That's
little.
The first thing I noticed.
Did you? I'm so like Iceman. The Iceman coming. And by the way, y'all, everybody talks about Madden curse. Patrick Mahomes had no curse. Patrick Mahomes won the damn Super Bowl the year he was on this thing. So let's just say that it only works for every other team, except for us.
Wait, now, Nomad, you're showing the deluxe edition. You know that, right?
It's okay. It's just a cover.
Well, yeah.
Is it a different cover
too? Yeah.
Yeah, it's another. It's another.
You want to see it?
No. That's not. Come on now.
You don't want to see the actual cover?
I've seen it, man. I've seen it.
Well, you don't want to share it?
No, everybody else has seen it. I'm trying to get to a point here.
Right.
Okay.
Because what's pissing me off about this cover? It ain't got shit to do with Caleb Williams. It ain't got shit to do with this Bears team. It's got everything to do with this cover and them saying that a Bear has never been on the cover of Madden. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, hold on. You mean to tell me Devin Hester, hey, kids, put your Shit on mute.
Sorry, brother. Keep on.
Devin Hester never made the cover of Madden. Devin Hester was the most electric player in the NFL for years. And that's pissing me off. In hindsight.
Yeah, not like the individual player accomplishment / accolades, Pro Bowls or MVPs or game covers or commercials. I never really care. It's like, yeah, cool. Because guess what? In a few years, it's going to be somebody else. I was more about the team. But it is good, nice recognition to be like, all right, one of the players on my team is popular enough, good enough, has enough aura, for lack of a better term, to be recognized for something that's like, oh shit, Madden. Everybody grew up playing Madden. And it's like, shit, one of our players is on the cover. Oh, that's dope. And it's like Hester is like, yeah, he was good, but not Madden cover good.
No, he was great.
But Madden cover is like, it seems as though that's not going to be just for a mere returner.
Dog.
Fair, but hold on.
I'm the player in the league, bro. There's only a close second to who could stand up a crowd in a stadium like that. Second was Adrian Peters during his.
I bet you it was AP too. I'm just wondering who. So 2010 Bears, 2006 Bears. Who was on those Madden covers in 06 and 2010 is really my question.
It's a good question. I don't know, but it just pissed me off knowing the fact that, man, this guy Devin Hester was so electric. He brought people to people's stadiums that probably normally never went to a game. They wanted to see him live. That dude was standing room only. Standing room only when he was back there to receive a punt or a kick. Yeah, he was that bad.
He was. Those two questions are interesting questions because those were two high caliber football teams that could have got some level of Madden representation and did not, with respect to the Chicago Bears, that is, right? 06 and 2010. Surprising. I can almost knock on wood. Chat, check it out if you can. I can almost knock on wood and guess that it was probably the Peyton. One of those 2 years is probably the Peyton Hillis year. And why that's important.
That Devin missed the cover?
Yeah. I can almost knock on
over Devin Hester?
Brother, I can almost knock on wood and say it. I'm not saying they should have done it. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure they did. And that that's kind of like where the Madden curse really came from. Right? So Peyton Hillis had a single season of success and was out of.
They put a fullback on the cover before Devin Hester.
I'm pretty sure.
And what Paul is referring to here is that Paul? No, I'm sorry, Wendy. Roberto Garza was on a 2009.
Oh, on the Spanish.
On the Spanish edition. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. PlayStation 3 in Español. Madden 09. Roberto Garza is on the cover there.
That's wild, man. Devin Hester ever being on the cover of this thing is wild. And this because Caleb, if I'd have never known that a Bears player never made the cover, I'd have been so good with this. But I found that out, and I'm just like, hold the fuck up. Devin Hester went through that whole era and didn't get a cover.
Yeah,
I stopped Madden somewhere in that time.
He was, but have Hester, Hall of Famer, all of that. No love, and that tells you where the Bears personnel has been, talent wise.
Shut up, Scrolls, man. You
You're laughing at Scrolls too over here, man. Scrolls are too much.
But the official reason on why Caleb Williams was chosen, according to the EA Sports executive, Caleb Williams is what a true face of the franchise looks like. the culmination of many moments in the Chicago Bears' incredible history that has led them to their electric, generational, there's that word again, quarterback. So this is, Caleb's going into his second year under Ben Johnson, and it's like Madden cover. And it's like, oh shit, we ain't even scratched the surface on what Ben Johnson wants to do and blowing teams out and having a lethal offense. So when that actually starts to get in gear, it's like, okay, now we can see the vision and understand. It's like, well, that's why Ryan Poles wanted this kid.
Hey, did you guys see the presser the day after this cover? Ben Johnson's presser?
No.
You mean where he was highly impressed about it?
He was not.
In other words,
he was not.
Did not give two shits.
Not at all. He knows the curse, all the things about the curse that comes with it. He wasn't gonna acknowledge it. He's a little spicy at that goddamn podium today, man. I'm just telling you.
He's somebody's a reporter had their phone up there and it started ringing. And he looked down at that phone like he was about to throw that motherfucker. And he was like, whose phone is this?
Hey,
did he ask? He asked.
Get this motherfucker so I'm not interrupted again.
It was like one of them cartoons when you got a devil and an angel on your shoulder, and the devil looked like he was winning, boy. And for a minute, that devil looked like he was winning, man. I'm telling you, that shit was hilarious. I ain't never seen that man that angry. That man needs
$5. $5 says it's Mark Carmen's phone. I'm just gonna put that out there now.
Well, that's exactly how he looked. And I
football cycle.
And we've seen that around the league circles, Ben Johnson is being known as, the bad guy, the anti-social head coach where everybody hates him. And I love that shit, man. I love that about him.
Me too.
And it's like for those listening, there's a picture, like a kind of a meme kind of thing up here, and it's like Ben Johnson giving somebody one of those Ben Johnson looks like, I'll slap one of you bitches because you just
that's the face I make when I wake up in the morning. But I'm so down with this face, man. That's exactly how you should look.
Yeah, the devil almost won. I'm telling you, he was fighting right then and there on the podium. That guy was pissed, man. I mean, his jaws tightened, his eyes got sharp.
What the fuck is this? I'm talking to who the?
Like, hold on, man.
Get this shit.
You're talking about Madden.
He was real life fighting.
About the phone ringing on his podium.
I know, but like.
But then when somebody asked him about Madden, what are your thoughts on that? He was like, "Do you have thoughts?" He was like, "Nah." Next question.
Yeah. Love this guy. Go football cycle. Go.
But man. Now somebody says something about Madden curse. And one of these numbers people, one of the kids, with their analytics.
Oh.
Quarterbacks on Madden cover since 2020 and their ensuing season stats. In 2020, Patrick Mahomes, 14 games played, 4,000 passing yards, 26 TDs, 5 INTs, Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champ.
In 2021, Lamar Jackson, 15 games played, 3,700 yards, 33 TDs, 9 INTs. In 2022, in Madden 22, Tom Brady, 17 games played, 5,300 yards, 43 TDs, 12 INTs. Patrick Mahomes in 2022, 17 games played, 4,800 yards, 37 TDs, 13 INTs. And in 2024, Josh Allen played 17 games, 4,300 yards, 29 TDs, 11 INTs. So according to the numbers and quarterbacks, the legendary or the infamous curse is it could go either way, but it doesn't.
It's I don't pay attention to any of that stuff, man. I really don't, man. It's just football to me. And I think once you are in the playoffs, once you are in playoff football and you are in that game, every single time, it's going to be a team or two that comes through the playoffs that shouldn't be there and gets ran out of the building by 3-4 touchdowns that shouldn't have been there in the first place. But if the competition is real and those are evenly matched up teams, which is what it's supposed to be in the playoffs, it's coming down to 2 to 3 plays, bro. And in that, this year, watching this cat in the playoffs, Caleb made 2 to 3 of those plays. 2 to 3
it counted. You're right.
Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you, the competition is that stiff. Evenly matched football teams, it comes down to 2 or 3 plays in particular moments in the game. Whether it's a turnover or whether it's a fumble here or there. Just think about, there's one game, I don't know, it was I think it was Green Bay game when there was a fumble on a onside kick. I think it was Green Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a play like that, that's game changing. It comes down to shit like that. But more times than not, it was Caleb that was making those plays. And that's why the team and the league is so ecstatic about this cat, because he proved that he can make those plays when the moments needed him to make them.
Well, that's how, like, I'm going to say something crazy. He's like reverse Jay Cutler.
Yeah, God. I never.
No, like, that's fine if you didn't like him. I'm just saying Jay Cutler had his benefits. He threw a lot of interceptions. Caleb don't. Got a lot of yards, a lot of yardage in like a decent pass percentage, a lot of yardage within the middle of the field. Caleb is more outside. Just Caleb is clutch. Jay Cutler isn't clutch. You know what I mean? Like, just he's kind of the reverse color. All we need is more a higher percentage now, and I think we're in a really good place. And I think that's really what Ben's looking at.
Man, I never liked Jay Cutler. I just his energy. I wouldn't. I think every you guys know everything is energy with me, but his energy just never left nothing to be inspired.
I agree.
He never looked interested. He always kind of looked like, I'm just fucking here in Chicago. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's time to play football. Okay, whatever. And it's like, dude, go away.
He always kind of reminded me of Bill Pullman as Lone Star in the movie Spaceballs. That's just me. It's I don't know what it is, but it's just a very awesome character comparison. Anyways, take it for what it's worth.
The funny thing about Jay Cutler is I was so excited about Jay Cutler.
Him coming in?
Yeah, because I knew he's exactly the kind of arm we needed with what I thought they were going to do. And they assembled that team exactly the way I thought they would.
Me
and
too.
I was extremely excited about it. And once I start to see Jay Cutler for Jay Cutler, like the uninterest it looked like he had in the game, and just he just didn't do it.
Look, I think everybody would have a bit of a different view of Jay Cutler if they didn't put his ass on that bike in the playoff game. I think that
locker room.
You know what I mean? Go to the locker room. Go sit in there if you're not going to play. Him sitting on that bike out on the field was probably the single worst look.
That's what
for a quarter. Of course.
That's exactly what took me over the top. And ever since then, man, I wanted to dive on that motherfucker, man.
Brother, I was sitting watching that game going, why the F is he out here?
He's right
on
there.
a bicycle. You know, he's right there. Go in the game and play the game, and he just got his head down. And he's pedaling. And I'm like, this is the worst.
If he's not gonna play.
Your leg looked like it worked to me. I
think Jay had. I'm gonna say something crazy, but I think Jay had mental issues.
Yeah.
Kind of depression or something going on, man. His eyes wasn't right.
I don't know about all that.
Whatever
his
I
wife is fine, man.
I can see some things. I'm just telling you.
His wife is fine. She make real good money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you mad about. I don't know what you depressed about.
Man, all that shit on the surface don't look like nothing. And it don't mean
nothing. Like, I'm just hoping it does, man. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm trying to. When you look at areas where he should be depressed,
he encapsulates it. Read that. Oh, you can't read the kids.
I got it. No, I got it. Jay was uncoachable. He didn't care. He trusted his arm to make any throw, and so many poor decisions. Never learned from them. He kept gunslinging and throwing reckless, and that's a really good way of encapsulating it. So at the same time, maybe you want to put the Jay Cutler failure potentially on coaches and just surrounding quarterback room. What's really funny is guys like Josh McCown would come out underneath him and just light it up though. So I don't know.
I don't think Jay. I don't think he was a whole football player. I don't think he was invested. I think he did what he needed to do, and whatever that was, he didn't do it when they needed him to do it at the time. The most pivotal game that they needed him, he sat on that goddamn bike, and I never ever will forget that.
Now, this is a total speculative question, and none of us can answer it. But what do you think Jay Cutler's reaction was to see this Madden cover with Caleb Williams? Disinterested?
Oh, he walked right past it.
Happy? They'll just don't give two shits.
If we're going, Jay Cutler.
Wait. So the thing is, I think you're comparing Jay Cutler to Caleb Williams. Jay Cutler's legacy is probably 50-50, depending on which Bears fan you talk to. And his legacy doesn't stand on shit with a lot of people, and I'm one of that 50% of the crowd that doesn't really care for him. Depending on who you talk to, his legacy might mean something, and this might mean something to that person you're talking to. To me, it don't mean shit. It's just like he's better than you. That's all it means.
And all the more reason for him to walk right past it. And that's why that's my particular answer. There's certain, and we could list. There's easily a list of players, former players. I mean, that would look at something like this and be like, "Damn, somebody they did something here. Somebody did it. That's crazy." And actually, feel positively about this as a achievement, right? I would say a guy like Charles Tillman or even Brian Urlacher would probably love just to see, Olin Kreutz would probably love just to see that this has occurred, and then give it the side. Okay, cool. So now we got to win some games now. You know what I mean? And that's really the reality of it. This is a nice little, nice little thing to put on your mantle, but it ain't a Super Bowl, y'all. Let's go get that. Let's go get that.
Here's another layer to add to the Jay Cutler, Caleb Williams comparison. Both of them have wickedly talented arms. I mean, just wicked talented arms. Just arm strength is just, they know they can make any throw. Jay knew it. Caleb knows it.
Yeah.
But the better protector of the football
is Caleb Williams.
That on the screen right here. Jay just didn't prioritize protecting the football. He prioritized what throw he can make. And that's the difference between a winner and a loser. When you got the ball in your hands, a lot of times, 100%.
You're nailing it. And again, easily just that comment is part of the reason why I was saying Caleb is sort of the reverse Jay. He's not throwing the ball into dangerous situations ever, almost, right? So the one time that he did was that final nail in the coffin for the 2026 season. But the reality is, throws like that are few and far between with Caleb Williams, and we all know that. So, the anti Cutler.
Another layer I can throw into it. This could all have to do with coaching, and what coach will hold you accountable for protecting the ball, and what coach won't. Obviously,
100%.
The coach that was here with Jay did not fire his ass up, and his teammates also. Man, you better not give this ball away. You dirt that thing or you throw it into the stands. But you better not throw this ball away. And he was too willy-nilly with the throws, man. And it cost us too many times.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and then he would just have that look on his face like, whatever.
Yeah, it's a difference. Big, huge difference. Ben Johnson is going to hold this cat accountable. You better not throw that ball away too many times, or we will sit your ass down on the bench and put somebody else in there. You better prioritize keeping that ball.
Man, I'm enjoying the intelligence, the sense of humor, the human side, but the spiciness of Ben Johnson. Whereas, beyond the, why is his phone ringing during my press conference? Why are you asking me irrelevant questions? But his willingness to be honest about, player performance, player expectations. And, Caleb Williams is not above that scrutiny, not above that public, I don't want to say ridicule, but public acknowledgement of shortcomings, if you will.
You got to have,
but the thing is, the difference is Caleb seems to be receptive to it, to whatever coaching was offered up to, Jay Cutler was just rebuked.
All right. One more thing before we get out of this conversation about who's on the Madden cover and who isn't. I'm having a little brain fart, but yeah, I'm having a complete brain fart right now because somebody is outside my door right now. Hold on for a second, y'all. Hold on. Give me a second.
Who's that peeping in the window?
Wow.
Nobody
now. Jeez, yeah, man. So I haven't bought Madden in probably 10, maybe 15 years, and I'm a big fan. I still wind up playing it every year. Usually I wait for it to show up on Xbox Game Pass, and I can just download it for free, and I'll play it either early in the season for a little bit or later in the season. Get a couple of franchise runs out of the way and do it. But I haven't actually bought it. Now that now that the face of the league is the Chicago Bears quarterback, I may have to actually put a couple of bucks in this.
And they say that Caleb Williams ranking 90.
No way.
Let me tell you guys what else I was about to say about the no Devin Hester cover. Remember the era he came up in. It was Peyton Manning, it was Tom Brady, it was Drew Brees, and I'm missing probably one more quarterback. And they overshadowed everything in the league. It was all about those quarterbacks.
There's a couple more.
It's one more.
You could say Phil Rivers, but I would never really put him in there.
Yeah, and I think what's his name was on there? Ray Lewis.
Oh yeah.
I think Eli Manning stunk, but he should probably be talked about in the same caliber because he beat Brady and the Patriots twice. And that's all you need, man. You know what I mean? All you need is those two upsets.
Wasn't really be talked about on there once?
I'm quite certain he was actually. That would be earlier.
Yeah, Big Ben.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it's still no excuse for Devin Hester not touching this cover. I don't care what nobody says.
Fair enough, Lord Crimson. He was part of the team that beat them. Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. I'll agree with that. I'll agree. The Giants beat them.
Well, let's get to one of the main topics that we need to talk about real quick, and that is we missed out on something big. We missed a big fish, and did I even pull up it? Here we go. Kids, you and I had a little small online conversation about this. What were your first thoughts here? What were your first thoughts? I'm just going to shut for a minute.
You know what they were, and it was like, damn, how did this situation slip past the Chicago Bears, right? Like that was obviously my little 2 cents. Because if you're able to acquire the services of Thanos, and he got the Infinity Gauntlet, you probably want to pay Thanos, man. Figure a way to pay Thanos and get him all gauntleted up, so he can snap his fingers. And I use that little comparison because, like, straight up, like that defensive line would be different, like that. So, to be frank with you, there's a couple of things that there's a few things I would not mind letting go of, and that does include potential draft capital for an instant and an instantly threatening defensive line versus a line that's not really all that threatening. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are. And all I really hope to hear at some point is just that Ryan Poles says, "Hey, yeah, you know what? We heard about this thing. We had a couple conversations. It wasn't a fit. That's all I need to hear, and I'll be fine." But I really had to think about how the heck did this guy get to the ramp? So basically, 2 out of 3 of our, probably bigger threats in the 2 out of 4 of our bigger threats in the NFC now have gone out and secured massive pass rush upgrades. And we're just going to have to deal with that. And we've been looking for a pass rusher for, I don't know, 7 years. We have one. We need another one.
This is the only guy that I thought that was worth them changing. You got to change gears immediately if this guy is in play.
Would you throw 2 firsts for this guy?
Oh yeah, every day.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Come on, man.
Simply put, I'd throw 2 firsts for Myles Garrett.
You can.
Well, but he did also go for more than that, though. Basically,
no.
Well, yeah, because Jared Verse, he was a first-round pick, still on his rookie deal. Pro Bowl player.
So that's first number 1.
And then actual number 1.
Mm-hmm. What else was included on top of that?
Then a number 3 and a number. It was 3 or 4 picks total.
Oh damn!
Plus Verse.
Damn. Well,
so it was not just a number 1 pick and Verse. Hold on, go ahead, yeah. Keep talking. I'll look up the exact.
Okay. Plan. Yeah, give me the exact compensation there. That's
the worst thing about it to me is. This is a hill we have to climb at some point.
Well,
we already let Micah Parsons go to Green Bay.
That's number 2.
He's going to be starting the season on the PUP list, so that's at least the first.
Myles Garrett?
No, Micah Parsons.
So Paul Rodriguez has got the pick selection in here. He says a first rounder, a second rounder, and a third.
Right. But the third is conditional. And so if the Rams trade Garrett back into the AFC, that third becomes a first.
Yeah, they ain't trading them. But here's the thing, right? Like, compensation aside, that's pretty significant compensation. But compensation aside, you are allowing your competition to get better under your watch, and that has to be taken into consideration, right? They were not really in that Michael Parsons conversations, and he went next door, and we got to deal with him twice a year. I just want to know that they were at least in this conversation and looking at this particular opportunity, and maybe trying to wheel and deal if needed. But my thoughts is they probably weren't. They probably looked at this thing and said, "We just don't have the capital. We don't have the capital to do this, so we're out." And they probably bowed out really early if they were involved in the conversation at all.
Kids and Trips, think about some of the conversations we've had about pass rush in the last couple of weeks here, and how we were breaking down what the offense can provide to help the defense pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. Myles Garrett was on a team that couldn't really score. He still ended up with 20 sacks in a season. Imagine what that's going to look like with a team that can put a 21 burger on your ass at halftime.
Brother,
how many sacks can he get then?
Let's just be like, let's just quantify that. And this is why I'm saying you're allowing your competition to get stronger, get better. We lost to the Rams last year in the playoffs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's specifically that team. You allowed that team to get that much better on you. And the fact is, Matt Stafford ain't gonna be there that much longer. So they're kind of famous for doing. Even the Matt Stafford move was kind of like this, right? Let's get the most out of the existing NFL that we can and win that chip. And this is like a very similar move as to them pulling Stafford over in the first place. Let's just expend, empty the wallet, get what we need to really make a go at that, at the NFC Championship / the Super Bowl next year. And that's what this looks like.
Well, yeah, but the downside is, you don't make it. Now you're in a position where, a lot of your young talent is gone. You are, down draft picks, and you got to pay a lot of old guys.
You know who doesn't care about that?
The Rams.
No, not just the Rams, but very specifically Sean McVay. Because Sean McVay can go get another chip and be like, yo, I'm out. I'm going to retire. I got two,
still
more or less. You know what I mean? I'm probably get into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really have to worry about how old the roster is and who's got to fix that situation up after. He wants to win now. And that's what this is. This is a win now move.
That's definitely because, according to the scuttlebutt that I've heard, teams had similar offers as far as draft compensation for Garrett, but nothing moved the needle until the Rams offered Verse. And the Bears didn't have a Verse to offer. It's like, we'll give you a motivated Dale. You know what I mean?
Please give them a motivated Dale. Please.
But the closest thing we would have would have been Booker. And I don't.
Nomad, you nailed it, brother. Nomad, you nailed it, brother. It would be Montez Sweat. If you really want to go something similar, like for like, you let go Montez Sweat. You add another player into this conversation.
Oh yeah, but Sweat's almost the same age as Garrett.
Here's the thing.
That's fine.
Here's the thing that y'all might not be paying attention to is they needed a left-handed edge rusher, left-sided edge rusher. Montez is not a left-sided edge rusher. He's more right-sided edge rusher. And Verse is more of a left-handed edge rusher. So that kind of thing makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of Garrett snaps on the left though.
He's a left-handed edge rusher.
Well, defensive left, defensive right.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
That makes a huge difference.
Okay.
Because they might feel good about what they're getting coming off the other side. These kind of things make a difference in that regard. If we had a specific guy that can, let's just say Montez was better from the other side. On the side that Garrett is, that Rams deal looks good for us too. But I think that's a specific thing that they think they want. That guy's coming to the blind side of the quarterback.
Man, I kind of knew that at some point this was like something like this was going to go down with him. The regime change, I don't think he was really with it. I mean, I know he was very close, as in Myles Garrett. I know he's very close with his defensive coordinator and coach before all of this regime change over in Cleveland. And the flip side to all this is, again, back to the money angle. Man, they were paying two people upwards of $300 million. And that's like the whole roster and two players. So they kind of needed to make some kind of move.
Let me ask you guys a football question, just off the top of your head. Do you think it makes a difference whether an edge rusher has his left hand in the dirt, right leg back, or the other way around? Do you think it makes a difference in that play?
Given where you line up, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
The thing about a coach and assistants to these coaches in those rooms is knowing where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and they know where to give these guys particular amounts of reps. He comes off of his back right leg better than he does his left. I mean, it's little simple things like that that makes a difference in a trade like this, in my opinion, because versus more of a left-handed in the dirt kind of guy. And that can give you similar, impact that Myles brought to the team. Not the same by far, but it can give you something similar. As opposed to if you looked at Montez on tape and he's on the left-hand side, to me, he's not the same player. He's good, but he's not the same. As opposed to the other side of the field.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I say, I'm just hoping that we find out that they were at least kicking the tires on this, because how could you not? And my answer for how you could not is, again, strictly money related. There's so much money tied up on that defensive line right now that maybe, and like, as much as I'm not super pleased with this, but maybe they just have to see it again, try it out again and see if it works this time around. And hopefully folks are not quite as injured this time around as they were last year, and we get a little bit more out of these, out of these investments. But
depending on what happens, kids, Kayvon Thibodeau at some point could be a strong candidate for this team, whether it's now or at the trade deadline, which usually it gets muddled and effed up when you got to get to that point. But that's something.
What do you think of that player?
I think he's very he's a very strong pass rusher. I think he can play in a 4-3. I think he's equally good against the run, and I think he can bring something to the team. But again, like I told you all at the beginning, it's going to take us to get in the pads for a couple weeks at least. Pads for a couple weeks before they decide something like that.
Yeah,
that's why. But Myles Garrett is a different animal. Like that guy, you just got to make sure you play a hand here. I don't know.
Plug and play.
What you said?
I said plug and play. You just put them out there, and it's a difference. Like there's a difference being made. Thibodeau.
If they didn't play a hand at all, I'd be pissed off about this.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm hoping we hear something along these lines, just to find out. Because like to me right now, like some of the words you'll hear out there is like, Ryan Poles is just happy with the with the defensive line that he's going to field.
Well, I don't know. I'd categorize it as happy.
What would you categorize it as?
I think it's more like, well, contractually, with Odengbo, with Garrett, with Sweat, you're kind of locked in. And, those exit strategies aren't viable until the end of next season. But then, to a man and a player, they've all admitted and said that they underperformed. New defense, new schemes, all of that, understood. But they still did not beat the man across from them enough, despite whatever defense was called and win. And now, with the obvious spotlight on the defensive line and lack of run stopping and lack of quarterback sacks, Ben Johnson came out and said, we got to coach better. Last year was more about in the scheme and right positioning. This year it's more about, actually making the tackles and being in the right position to make the tackles. But the defensive line it's like you want them to fix it, but it's like, well, what do you do? It's like, all right, well, Poles has been here so many years and we still don't have a defensive rush. It's like, all right, cool. We got a up and coming head coach. We got a young quarterback who's, the face of the Madden cover. We had question on the offensive line, kind of left tackle. We're not sure. All of these things, all of these positions have been addressed and addressed pretty well. The edge or the sack master, if you will, that hasn't been drafted, he still is not getting that guy yet. Maybe it's Booker, as he develops. You don't have to come in and be that guy, but Is it Booker? Who knows? But it seems as though they are content to go into the 2026 season, with higher expectations for the D line, with an eye to be like, all right, at the end of the season, if things don't go better for the D line, we can be out of Grady Jarrett's contract. We can be out of Odingbo's contract, and we can be out of Sweat's contract, and that's several $million. And there are several good free agents that are going to be available, namely even some from the Rams defensive line. So it seems as though he being Ryan Poles isn't happy with the line, but he's kind of hands tied as to the moves he can make to fix it or upgrade
it. I think most Bears fans are the reason why I've always been head and heels over. I mean, this guy right here is different. And right now, what I've been trying to preach to everybody that's watching the channel on all three of them is understand what they're trying to tell us. And you listen to the pressers, but you don't want to accept what they're telling you in the presser. Matching the pass rush with the coverage with the pass rush. Why they all go hand in hand. They're telling you. It's just people don't want to listen. They want the name that they're familiar with that has a certain amount of stats associated with them before they are okay with it. And really, it's just people bumping their gums. Other than that, this guy's different. Other than that, I'm listening to what the hell they're talking about because I know they know what they're talking about. It's about everybody together. It all fits together. If that defensive line gets off the ball the way it's supposed to, with the coverage behind it that you should have, all of this won't be getting talked about in a while. It won't. You have a couple loose strings here and there. Guy will get a long one on you because you got a savvy quarterback that can find, an open man. Other than that, what they're talking about is totally sound. You don't have to have a household name pass rusher. It's just what people want to talk about. But if you listen to what they're telling you, all you got to do is just chill out and wait and watch. All this complaining about what they did and didn't do. Myles Garrett's a different animal. They miss on a Myles Garrett, I'm going to have something to say. But other than that, everybody else, I'll wait till they get in pass and we can see.
Well,
right now.
They missed out on Myles Garrett. That's where we are.
What are we talking about? I got something.
You know what I'm saying? That this is where we are. I'm not sure. I just worry about the obvious thing, and it's got less to do with name brand. Although this name brand here is tried, true, and tested. Shout out to Foster out there, man. Big ups, man.
What up, Foster?
Fucker.
Just again, this is the real deal. My worry is very simple, because of where they wound up in the NFL with regards to pressures and or sacks. It's very low. Like we're like bottom 25 in 2026. I mean, the case one would expect that we would do things to improve that, and I haven't the verdict is still out as to whether there's going to be any actual improvement there. So we need to see that on the field. There's no obvious answer here other than, again, scheme and coaching, which Ben has harped, and all I can do is believe it. Again, I got to see it on the field.
I'm telling you guys, man, just trust these people, man. Ben Johnson has proven himself. Ben Johnson's proven himself to me. Dennis Allen, by way of what I've seen on tape with him over the years in New Orleans, has proven himself to me. In Chicago, given his first year and first go around with the roster that he had inherited, I think he can get way better than what it's looked like in the first year. And so, however that formula plays out, it might not be palatable to everybody else that's watching right now. And I'm trying to say to you all, just cool out, wait and let these guys finish up this roster. If they go into the season with the guys that they have on the team right now, that's telling me they're seeing some stuff that ain't necessarily being seen to us. And so you just gotta if you love your team, you have to have faith in what they do and how they do it and who they're doing it with. And because you don't get the name that you're looking for to satisfy, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Tony, it'd be all right, man. But they're gonna do what they feel like they need to do. If they feel like they need something to put them over the top, at some point they'll shift into that gear. But right now they don't feel the need to do it. That's where they are right now. Again, Myles Garrett is a whole other conversation, but we missed on that one. But we need to move on from football right now because we got some other stuff to talk about. And that is I'm ready to have a drink after talking about Myles Garrett because I am upset about that guy not being in Chicago. I really am. Because I was really hoping for it. But let's get to some drinky drinks, man. What do you guys think about this one?
What is that? A passion fruit margarita. Ingredients: jalapeno, a little pepper there, orange slice, lemon. I'm sorry, check that. Lime juice, passion fruit juice, agave nectar, lime salt, tequila. Yeah, it looks like a little fruity fruit drink.
I've never had jalapeno in a drink before.
Ain't nothing wrong with trying something once.
A little fruity fruit drink with a little kick.
Hey man, this is the time for fruity drinks, bro. Fruity mom, no.
Fruity motherfucker.
No, this is a
fucking shaking that ass.
Passion fruit. If you never had a drink with passion fruit in it, I can understand why somebody would be like, okay, what's this?
No, passion fruit's dope. I don't give a damn.
On another level, dope.
I don't care what you're about. Passion fruits is one of it's especially in a drink. Great flavor profile.
That's exactly where I'm at, Paul. Nomad Island Cocktail Bar. That's exactly where my spirit is at right now. And you spike this thing with a little bit of extra tequila, and you go with that passion fruit. Really, you don't need nothing else. All this other stuff is just extra, to be honest with you. But when you're out and you're having a good time and you're out there just on cruise control in that space, dude, this kind of stuff right here is this is summer, springtime kind of stuff. What?
You know what I'm laughing at, man. Scrolls is hilarious. I'm not gonna say nothing, man. Scrolls, you too much, bro. Damn. Yeah, no, this is a nice drink. It makes me want to go downstairs and actually hit the hotel bar before I go to Betty by Bowls, you know, but it is what it is.
What problem you got with this other than the tequila here, Trips?
Oh, no, the tequila's fine.
I was like, you don't do tequila either?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the jalapeno.
But the brown. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the jalapeno, man.
Oh,
but
man.
Other than that, it's like, yeah, you know, but I don't know. Just these are, you know, social, you know, gathering drinks. Is like, nah. I'll just open a can of fruit juice, you know, a couple shots of tequila in there, and you know, maybe a spritz of some lime juice and some salt, and I'm good. You know, but these summary is like, oh, public gatherings and events and shit, and I don't like those.
And hey, Trips, I used to be exactly like that until I started moving around, and you know, life comes with life experiences, man. You want to try? Let's see what this. I ain't really with that. Too much fruity taste and drink, but you know, when it's like the first time I had passion fruit in a drink, it was in a puree. It was passion fruit puree. So somebody pureed that thing up and put it in a drink, and you know, little pulp going on, but it was so effing good.
Like a little slushy. Yeah.
It was frothy and it was good. And I was just like, hold up, dog. You know what I mean? So it's about where you are, being in the spirit of wherever you are, and just trying something. You know what I mean? Just getting away from what you normally do. Man, some of these drinks, even though it's just like, oh, okay, these are just for the girls at the bar and all this kind of stuff. Try some of this shit, man. Try some of this.
Man.
It's good.
I'm digging Crimson's little summer drink in the chat. Look, that sounds good. I would substitute for like a dark rum, but yeah, man. He's saying vodka, fill the glass with 2/3 orange juice and 1/3 grapefruit juice. You had me at the grapefruit juice here for sure, man. But that'd be an interesting flavor.
What up, Smitty?
Hey, Smitty Q. Howard Hall. Shout out.
That's a passion fruit margarita. I like it. Make sure you put that lime salt around the rim of that glass. Lime salt helps. Anytime you're drinking tequila.
Lime salt. Never had that.
What?
Yeah, no, I never had that.
Man, you don't have lime salt in your house, man?
No, I never. I just said I never had it. I don't know. I've never had lime salt before.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
No.
What?
Okay, so I'm not alone.
Dog, go to the liquor store and ask for some lime salt, man.
They sell it at the liquor store, not the grocery store.
I got that thing at every liquor store, man.
Okay, all right.
You can get it at the grocery store.
Okay.
Lime salt. If you like me, sometimes you like to take them straight to the head with the tequila. You sprinkle a little lime salt on the back of your hand. You lick your back of your hand. You sprinkle the lime salt on there so it sticks. And then you take your shot, lick the lime salt, or you can just get a lime and chew the lime. That's how people take a shot of tequila.
Yeah, I've done that with regular salt.
Yeah, and regular lime. Yeah, me too. Yeah,
lime salt is a different level, bro.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, get you some lime.
Some Mexican candy. I'm in. All right, we'll have to test this out.
Yeah, it'll bring any of your tequila indulgence. It brings it to another level for you.
All right, I'm gonna have to mess with that with my boy Ray, man. Ray's a tequila connoisseur.
Yeah, so, Corona, Modelo, you can put that lime salt around any of those.
Okay. Interesting. So I assume it's just okay. Forget it. All right, I'm gonna have to find this out. I'm gonna have to find this.
Nobody listen to you, Scrolls, man. You weird anyway, man. You do what you want to do in public, man. You be
go ahead, Red Baron. You run your tongue all around that rim.
We're worrying about that kind of shit. Here's a classic.
What do you got?
Oh, Tequila Sunrise. Also a cool Mel Gibson movie. Ingredients: orange juice, maraschino cherries, orange slice, grenadine syrup, ice, and blanco tequila. Yeah, I love these things. Delicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a bunch. Yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff. I'm not super.
It's just basically, to me, I've always looked at this as a tequila ice. What do you call it? Iced tea. One of them. This is.
Like a Long Island iced tea, but with tequila.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have as many liquors in it.
No,
it's real sweet, but it's got a little bite to it. And by the time you drink like one and a half, it ain't nothing but fruit juice.
I've actually had this during the sunrise. During the sunrise, after a tumble in the bed, got up on the beach. Somebody made us a couple of these. Empty stomach, hit right back like I was before we tumbled in the bed. And so just imagine you in the bed doing your thing, you sweating. You really need something to eat and you really need something to drink, like some water or something electrolyte related. I had one of these right afterwards on the beach as the sun was coming up in the grill in Jamaica, and it hit me like a ton of bricks in a good way. We were right back in the room doing the same thing all over again, and then we got breakfast. So I have a good time with these kind of things. Like tequila sunrise is such a great memory that, oh my God. It's not like you have these all the time, but man, they are good for the moments.
I'm with you. I'm not a fan of cherries, maraschino cherries. I'm not a fan of grenadine syrup either. Just so sweet. I like.
You have to cut it properly, kids. You
It's
can't.
because I didn't.
You can't let the grenadine be the dominant part of the drink.
Mm.
It's supposed to only be a small feature.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I like things much. I like sour stuff, man. I lean towards sour more than sweet at any given occasion. But yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts on tequila sunrise?
No, sir. You got me.
All right.
Good drink though.
Time for some grub.
What are we eating?
Kids, I think some of this might be right up your goddamn alley.
What do we got going on here?
Looks like a cheeseburger soup. Ingredients of onion, chopped celery, diced carrots, potatoes, basil, butter, garlic, chicken broth, milk, flour, cheddar, and ground beef.
If you've never had cheeseburger soup, you just don't even know what you're missing. It might sound so totally ridiculous on its face, but until you've had it, like recently, at my girlfriend's job, again, they have chefs there, and she catches a little bit of this, on the way out. They do it okay. But until you do this yourself, the only thing I didn't put in this is you got to have some crushed bacon of any kind, whatever kind of bacon you like, beef bacon, pork bacon, turkey bacon, put some bacon in here. But this is like top 3 soups of all time right here. Top 3. Until you've had it, you just don't even know.
Must be calorie dense. Yeah, you're probably right. This looked good to me, man, but I would do it a little different, and I probably wouldn't do it. I'd do it with like a minestrone base. Give it that more tomato flavor.
With the potatoes, it just, oh my God, dog. I mean, you can't. I mean, let's just say you put some pasta in there instead of the potatoes. I can see the potatoes. I'm telling you, it takes it there for you with the bacon and cheese in there. It's like you eating a cheeseburger baked potato
with fries. Oh, with baked potato. Okay, I see what you mean.
It's one of the top 3 soups I've ever tasted in my life.
Really?
And I love soup. I absolutely love it. You can make this as dense as you want to make it. The gravy that puts the soup together, you depending on how you go about that with the flour and all of that, and also the cheddar is a binder too. So as you go about making something like this, remember that, as you're, bringing it together with your flour, remember you're going to put some cheese on top of it. And unless you want it super dense, be easy with the flour. Best thing I can tell you. But this is absolutely top 3 soups I've ever eaten in my life, and I'll fight anybody about it.
Wow. Okay.
You got to have this. You got to get this. Matter of fact, kids, best thing I can tell you, look around the city. Look around your jurisdiction that you might be in right now and see.
No, I you know me, man. I would actually make this at home. I would make this at home and give it a shot. I'm a soup idiot. I love soup. So I would give this a shot one of these days for sure. Except like, damn, the milk and the flour, I'd probably find a way to cut out. Is it important?
Yeah. When you're bringing that roux
Wait
together.
to make your roux.
Yeah.
Damn.
You need a little bit of milk, a little bit of chicken broth here.
Okay. Well, the chicken broth's fine. It's just the milk and the flour I'd like to stay away from.
Well, try whole wheat flour and almond milk.
Okay.
It's like the chicken broth is gonna go in there a little bit earlier as you're getting the meat and the onions and carrots and all that going on. That's gonna, as you're seasoning all of that up, that's when you put the little, after you kind of caramelize your onions and all that kind of stuff, that's when you go in with the little chicken broth and give that a little bit of, stir around. And as that start to cook in the broth, as you're starting to bring that, when you're ready to bring that roux together, that's when you use whatever binder you got with the flour. Just be light with it. Start bringing it together. Get all the clumps and lumps out of there. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Bring it where it needs to go to. Continue to season. And you throw the potatoes in there with the meat. And then, that's when you're starting to bring it together now. Starting to bring it together. And at the very end, after you've gotten the roux where it needs to be, everything feels and taste it as you go. That's when you put the cheese on top of that thing and start bringing it together. Bring that into the roux. And at the very end, that's when you throw the basil or whatever you want, green you want to throw in there, and then crumble that bacon over the top of that.
No, that's not butter, Red Baron. That's cheese.
Yeah, the butter goes in there around the time
early.
you put chicken broth in there.
Yeah, the butter's already cooked in. And this is a dish that I've made before and would definitely eat again. Love cheeseburgers, and it's just a different way to enjoy a lot of the same foods. So instead of actually making a burger and potatoes on the side and steaming carrots and celery and all the other ingredients, just put it all in the same damn pot.
Trips, this is everything I like about food in a bowl.
Yeah. It really, like, I try to stay away from flour and milk, but as far as everything else is concerned, that's basically what I'm trying to put in my damn soup, period.
Yeah, and the only other somebody said, don't forget the garlic. Garlic's up there, and ginger. Ginger might be a little overpowering for this.
I wouldn't put ginger in this particular soup, but I think he's commenting on JCN's comment saying the holy trinity of like soup is onion, celery, and carrots. And I wish I could argue with that. I would consider it a holy quadrinity. I don't know if that exists, but I think it sounds pretty decent. I'd add garlic in there. Garlic got to be in there.
Garlic is definitely in here on this, but
yeah, it is.
The outstanding flavors in here are the garlic, the onion, the bacon, and the cheese.
I bet you're overlooking the carrots, man. The flavor profile of carrots is so important in soup, man. It's why I love carrots.
They're just side piece, Keith.
Well, I put in a dish tonight. Speaking of the vegetables, crank out the Instapot, diced celery, carrots, onion, then minced garlic, and then salt, pepper, little onion powder, little garlic powder, because those are different flavors, but still throw those in there. Saute those a little bit. Then what up, Shorty? And no, this
Shorty.
This is Nomads. But and then you put that in there, and then you dump in 2 cups of rice, just brown rice, and then 3 frozen chicken breasts right out the freezer, and put in like 6 cups of water, throw in a bouillon cube or a scoop or better than bouillon. 25 minutes later, you open that up, you shred out the chicken breast, you got a beautiful rice, chicken and rice vegetable soup. Easy, delicious, and it's healthy. whether you are, need something to convalesce with, like if you're sick, or if you just want to eat healthier. From the ingredients, it's fast, it's inexpensive, and it's a lot like this cheeseburger soup by using, your ground beefs and just making something that you eat all the time, just kind of in a different form.
You know what, kids? If you go this route, if you want to make this, what makes it could be a little troubling is the volume that you make it in. So if you want to make this, make it in a small portion, so you don't have to go in with the stuff you're worrying about. Hardcore, you know what I mean? So make a, sample size, for the first time around, just for yourself maybe. And you don't.
I'm smiling because I don't think I've ever made soup just for me. You know what I mean?
I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard, but to get the smaller pot out and just take the same steps.
I'm making soup for everybody, and it's much like somebody in the chat was saying. I think it was Top X Sports, but he was like, everything that's coming close to expiry in your fridge is soup, and I cannot argue with that at all. If something's ready to go, okay, it's going in the pot, man. You know what I mean? Cooked chicken a couple of days ago. It's going in the pot. We're gonna repurpose that thing into something fresh and flavorful.
I heard somebody recently tell me, man, nobody eats soups and chili in the summertime and the springtime. Like, you ain't met me.
What's wrong with them people, man?
I don't know.
Eat yourself some damn soup. It's good for you.
Any time of year.
Yeah, man.
But you know what? If you like this one, you might love the next one.
What do we got? What do you do now?
Lamb
What
stew.
have you done? Okay, well.
Ingredients: yellow onion, carrots, Yukon potatoes, garlic, olive oil, dark lager beer, beef broth, butter, and lamb shank.
This is probably delicious.
That's a piece of meat, Kez. That doesn't mean that you take a knife and jug a lamb with it.
So I don't no stabbings of the lamb.
No stabby of the lambs, no.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. This sounds delicious. I might actually like this. I just worry, and like right off the bat, I worry about potential gaminess of that lamb shank. How does the lamb come out of this?
Tender.
Yeah.
Succulent.
Well, you gotta braise it first.
Smart.
You gotta braise it first, give it a nice little cook down before you start adding, all these vegetables and all that stuff to it. And that's the most important part, is seasoning and braising that thing, and then starting to bring the roux together.
Man, I could eat this and just eat the carrots. Crazy. I love carrots, man. Carrots are my favorite, especially in a soup or a stew. They are my favorite vegetable in a soup or a stew.
Well,
all about carrots.
It may have been a lamb stew, I believe, actually, that I've had. I think it was Greek Islands, Greek restaurant, hosted in Chicago, a little Greek town area. But the way they prepared it, it seems as though they caramelized the onions either beforehand, some kind of way, like roasted them or did something with them, but they were very, very sweet. Their natural sweetness. And it just enhanced the whole stew.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I love it. Honest to God, it is exactly that. And it's just sort of a little, and you don't really think, like if you just bite into a carrot, you don't really think it's sweet. It's not really a sweet flavor profile. But when you boil it down, I don't know where the sweetness comes from, but it's delicious. And it's such an additive to a stew. I have to say.
You can say that one more time, man, because when you put that in a brothy mix, a carrot is another level of good.
It is, man. I love it.
Potato is too, for that matter. But
the potato's just a little bit different because it doesn't bring a sweetness. Potato sort of absorbs everything in the dish. You know what I mean? And it presents it in a different manner, and that's super cool too. But like carrots also do that, but they add just this little sweet kick that that you don't get with a potato.
Would any one of you guys
sweetness
be interested in trying this to make this from scratch?
Sure. Actually, I would make this too. This is a little bit more of a just a little bit more of a mission I have. I'm just trying to think what ingredients do I not have in my crib right now. So I'd
You
have
got
to get
lamb
a.
shank in the freezer.
I don't. I'd have to go get the lamb shank, but that's not a big deal. I can go get it. Um, and the only thing I'd really need is the beer, dark lager specifically. There's beer in my fridge, but
that would you know what, man? I don't know if you guys have ever experienced a stew with a lager in it, but if you haven't,
I'm not sure if I have.
it's depending on how they season that meat and how they season that broth, it can be a standout in the taste. It can be. I've had a broth. It wasn't lamb. It was beef with a lager in it too. It was an Irish stew, Irish beef stew. And the first time I tasted it, I was just like, oh, it's too much beer in here because it wasn't seasoned well enough. And the second time I tasted, that shit was perfection. If the guy didn't tell you that they put a lager in that stew, you wouldn't have known it.
He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a lager drink. Yeah, the flavoring beer goes in a lot of different soups and dishes, and it doesn't taste like beer, in the final dish. It cooks in throughout, but it's either the yeast or the whatever the flavoring is, it just enhances it. If you have issues with alcohol, I don't think, consuming, this dish with cooked beer in it's going to trigger anything. So it's not a noticeable thing, but the lager difference versus a like a light or a white, or not white, but not lager beer, it's different and you can taste the difference, but
And
it's not a
lager or a port.
difference.
He says a lager or a port.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
It brings its own flavor profile. Like I never cooked with cooking wine until probably 5 years ago. Specific cooking wine.
Nice sherry.
Well, mine's I only started using it recently, and it's specifically, it's like an Asian cooking wine. I'm trying to remember what it's called, man. It's got a name, but I like I've told you in the past. No, but that's not the name. But it's very specific. You use that to make. It's part of what I do to make my chicken wings, man. I put some of that in there. I toss it in the cooking wine. I toss it in sesame oil, and it comes out like you went to the Chinese food restaurant, man. They're dope.
Hey, kids, it was one of the times when I had to slide on my girlfriend, didn't tell her I was ruining up the what is it? Some stroganoff. I was ruining that, putting that together. I used a little it was dark red cooking wine. I can't think of the actual name of it, but I didn't tell her. I used a bit of that to rule it all up. She knew something was different, but she liked it. She liked it. But I used it before on something else, and she saw me using it, and she immediately turned her nose up to it.
So did he?
And I'm just like, you know what? I got something for your ass.
Oh.
What you don't know ain't gonna hurt you. Number one, not with me. Number two is you see something and you just automatically just shut your mind off. But yeah, I got it with the stroganoff. Topped it with a little sour cream, her favorite. It was over with.
And yeah, you got to know, man, because you got to expand her horizons.
Man, dude, she is so stuck in her ways, man. Holy crap! But one way to do everything.
Lamb stew, lamb is also kind of hard to get at times, or expensive. So guess what, people? You can substitute the lamb shank for some regular old beef stew meat.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I mean,
good old cubes.
Shank. You know the difference between a shank and a leg?
No.
A little bit higher up on that sweet ass.
Damn.
Yeah. Tenderness might have something to do with it. Toughness might have something to do with it. But I'll let you guys figure that out.
Well, I always thought it was more like the difference between, let's say, the gluteus minimus and the gluteus maximus.
What's a pork shank?
The outer cheek of a pig's ass.
What's it's the same thing. It's basically
just whatever animal. Yeah, it's
same
it's
reason. Same reason. One of them's tougher than the other. Takes a little longer to cook.
Mm-hmm. You know, but it's just let's say the supply lines and the food of food are different than they were not long ago. So the availability of certain foods at certain price points, you know, are different. So, you know, for people that are like, oh shit, that looks good, but damn, that lamb. Find you some beef, girlfriend, and you go ahead and you dress it up and jazz it up. You won't know the difference. But if you do have access to lamb, you know, it's so tender and it has its own distinct thing. But I think the flavorings of everything coming together, you know, like Kez was talking about the sweetness of the carrots, then the cooking off of the lagerness it just works as a cohesive coming together of ingredients. It's filling, it'll stick to you.
We're sorry, Juju.
Don't sleep on the Yukon potato, the Yukon Gold in particular, as the specific thing to go in a stew. You got your russets, you got your red potatoes, but the Yukon Gold in a stew just tenderizes better for me quickly and just has a better taste to me. That's just to me and my taste buds, but you know, for you, I don't know, but that's what I prefer in the stew.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, man, we got one more thing to do before we get into some record breakdowns, man. I just want.
Well, you don't know, Hobbs, if you ain't never had lamb, you don't know how lamb tastes.
Oh yeah, you got to try it once, man. Just get it cooked right. The best thing I can tell you. But one thing we got to do,
if you don't know the difference.
Lamb can be delicious. You just like it's especially in when it's boiled down, braised or stewed, because lamb can also be a little bit gamey in certain capacities, man. So when it's boiled down, braised or stewed, usually takes that gaminess out and makes it real tender and it, that's my 2 cents, man.
I will tell you this right now, kids, Nomad, everyone. In the fridge, I got a slab of pork ribs. I will, eat the hell out of a slab of beef ribs. I will just murk a slab of baby backs.
Damn.
But a rack of lamb, all of those little ribs and those little racks is like you put them on there and then you get a little char on them and they tender on the inside. And then you got the paste on there with the seasonings and it's Parmesan and the the greens all chopped up in there and crusted on there. And then you put it in the oven for a little bit. And it's like,
you ever had?
I don't know that there's an animal that I wouldn't eat their ribs.
You ever been somewhere and got some lamb with a pesto sauce on it?
That's what, yeah, the pesto. That's what I'm talking about. It's the chopped up herbs with the little bit of pecca romano and something else in there. But then you put that on there, and then you put in the skillet with some hot butter, and then you fry it on there, and then you put it in the oven, and then it crisps over. And then that pesto it has that crunchiness to it, and that's what enhances the flavor. And all of those bones are so suckable. And yes, I said that, Red Baron. Calm down.
Pause.
But I mean, you can't eat a rack of ribs and not suck those bones.
Yeah. Pause.
I ain't sucking no bones. I'll get the meat off of them.
Pause. Wow. but a bunch of bone suckers on this podcast tonight.
On that note, get ready for this.
But yeah.
Excuse me, but we had to do one movie breakdown real quick. Only because of performance. I had another one that I wanted to do, but because we want to get to some of these records that we want to talk about, I'm gonna stick with this one. We'll do the other one. And you talking about one of the better performances you will ever see in your life. Like some of the cut-ups of the preparation with actual Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx playing this role. It's out there in social media. You can go on YouTube and see Jamie Foxx preparing and practicing with Ray Charles, getting him where he needed to be to perform this role. One of the better performances you will ever see in your entire life. If you live another 5 more lifetimes, you will never see very much better than this. I hope you guys saw this movie. Because if
you know what, I didn't see this. I didn't see this movie. Wow. I feel terrible about it. But what I can say Jamie Foxx was probably born to play this particular role. He's a very multi-talented individual, and you could see that sort of all coming together during his time in On In Living Color, right? He plays, or even in his stand-up, he'll break out and start playing the piano and start singing, and you know what I mean? He has that great comedic timing. All of those things really make for, a very specific character profile that he was able to adjust into for Ray. Not to mention sitting around with Ray Charles and really getting an understanding of who the person was, and then putting that forward. From what I understand, he did a fantastic job.
Bro, yeah, it was a good encapsulation of the actual Ray Charles, because Jamie Foxx is a multi-talented kid with the playing of the instruments, the singing, the dancing, the acting, the comedy, all that. But I like the more insight into Ray Charles, how he figured out if the young lady was worth his time or not, his demons and how he had to deal with them, and how just the industry was for people on stage and doing it, and how the fandom reacted to them wherever they went around the world. And then the creativity aspects of it, from the musical ear of not just playing a piano or a harmonica, but orchestras, and bringing them, into, that whole sound that you're trying to create. And then over the course of his career, of his life, the different sounds that Ray Charles, was a part of or helped create. So it was just a real cool flick from the actual actors and actresses in it to the story of, this iconic performer.
I mean, number one, Ray Charles is a true original. You be talking about somebody that, you got artists of all ilks, all different genres, all over the place. And, most of these artists, man, you can't really tell the difference between one and the next. But Ray Charles when you hear Ray Charles. He's one of a kind. And there's nothing else to be said about that as far as he goes. His struggles, the story was more powerful. I ain't going to say more powerful than Jamie's acting, but the story does wrap you into it along with Jamie's acting, because it's so powerful. The combination of the story and his ability to present on screen is second to nothing I've ever seen in my life. There might be one more movie that we could be talking about tonight, but we ain't gonna have time to do it. But I mean, you're talking about extraordinary performances. Extraordinary performances doesn't even explain what I saw on screen with Jamie Foxx in this guy's role. When Ray Charles is absolutely smitten with you and what he thinks you can bring to the screen, Man, you should see some of the cut-ups they got on YouTube with Jamie Foxx and Ray Charles. You should really see it. You can literally see that man, even though he can't see Jamie Foxx, he was absolutely smitten with what Jamie can do playing him. And when you're talking about you're the originator, you're the person being, broken down in this film, and you need somebody to reenact who you are. How much better? I mean, I'm telling you, this was how they didn't give a Oscar to this cat for this tells me a lot about the Academy. Tells me a lot. You can't get a better performance than this. Maybe one other movie that I can think of off the top of my head. But this shit was crazy good.
Are you sure he didn't get an Oscar for this?
If he did, I don't know about it.
I think he was at least nominated. I think he might have won an Oscar for this. Maybe I'm wrong, but
nominated and getting it is two different things.
Two different things completely. But at the same time, I will be honest. I really haven't watched much of the Oscars since God knows what. It's been like that ain't good.
You think Walter Goggins is a good character actor? You ain't seen shit.
Well, he is.
Jamie Foxx is outstanding.
I'm not taking anything away from Jamie. All I'm gonna say is, again, this role he might have been born for. Walton Goggins will slip into anything, man. And I'm just saying, it's different.
If you've never seen the reruns of In Living Color, that's what that show was all about. Even though it was sketch comedy, it's still character role playing. The entire script. And so slipping into this character, slipping into that character is what Jamie Foxx does.
Yeah. That's a fair inference, man. Definitely fair. But yeah, Goggins is some shit though. Like I gotta give the guy some respect.
I think Goggins. Let's just say, imagine if you had to make a choice between Walter Goggins and Jim Carrey in Living Color rehearsals, and you got to make a choice of who is the better character actor. Who do you think is going to win that?
Well, Jim Carrey's gonna win simply because of comedic timing.
It's levels to this, bro. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, and one of the levels is comedic timing. If you're looking to deliver a comedic performance, obviously Jim Carrey for just about mayor. You know what I mean? He'll do whatever you want, including drama. But if you're strictly looking at, if you're strictly looking at drama, I don't think you can go much further than Goggins. Like Goggins is really good, man.
Because even if you look at it, what was that with the Truman Show? Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be a drama, serious kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when Jim Carrey does serious drama kind of thing, he looks like he's acting. He looks like he's trying to be serious, whereas Goggins is just kind of, what do you need me to be today?
Yeah,
because of the way he talks, I think.
Well, and then his forced facial expressions, like look concerned.
Until he shows me, I think he's limited.
Goggins?
Yeah.
No.
Goggins?
I think he's a little limited.
Oh, I thought Carrey's limited, but okay.
Have you seen him in? And I'm talking Goggins now. Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
Do you realize who he was in that show?
I know, man. I know that. We just talked about that. I'm talking about just imagine. Oh, okay. You've seen Walter Goggins in Sons of Anarchy. You've seen him in the new show he's got out right now. I've seen him in a few different roles. Mm-hmm. That guy is really good. I'm talking about. I mean, seriously good. But I do think there's a level to him and some of these other guys we're talking about. And I don't think he's there yet.
I think he's over and above them, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I do. Everything that guy's been in, he crushes. I can't really say Yeah, I don't know. Like Jamie Foxx and Jim Carrey have both done very, very interesting things, but with respect to their acting careers. Some
I
of them.
I'll give you a better
What?
character actor than him, somewhere around his age group too.
Who?
You know the guy that played the asshole that did all the
It was me.
unalive those kids in the movie. What is it? Where the big old black dude with the magical powers was in jail and got executed for no reason.
You're
The
talking the
Green
Green
Mile.
Mile.
The Green Mile, the asshole that was in that jail cell across from him.
You
That guy,
got me.
that guy right there is to me a little bit better character actor than Walter Goggins.
Well,
I don't
before
know
we,
his
I
name
don't
though.
know who that dude is, but
I can't place it either.
but Walter Goggins, I think, is a actor, a thespian, if you will,
I
whereas
agree.
Jamie Foxx is a
Com-
entertainer,
Fair.
and Jim Carrey is more of a comedian doing drama. But naturally, Goggins is a character actor kind of guy.
Yeah,
You're not gonna see, I don't think, Goggins, coming out, starting to play the piano or whatever instruments Jamie Foxx is, or crank out a soul album with 12 cuts on it of him singing, and then go do a comedy tour, and then come back and do a couple of sitcoms and a movie. That's not his thing. But that's also not Jim Carrey's thing. He'll go do a comedy tour and he'll come back and maybe, kind of do a movie, but then it's kind of like, they're all talented, but they're in different categories.
I
Yeah.
think I have a lot to do. And welcome in Howard Hall. He's really enjoying the show tonight. We appreciate you being here, man. I think it's don't sleep on the script writers and the people that's writing the story and whatever movie they plan in. Some of these movies are specifically made for certain characters like that to stand out. The script writers, the director to make sure that this guy busts off the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I gotta zero in on Jim, right? Because Jim is a great example of some of what you're describing. Because he's done obviously, over the top comedy. He's done, middle of the road drama with a comedic spin. He's done dark comedy, and then he's done drama. Like he's kind of done all of these angles of just acting in general. And it's interesting to see how he did it and how how those different roles landed with the people. Like his role as Andy Kaufman almost made him lose his mind, right? Like and that's how committed he was to that role. At the same time, not sure if it really landed with the audience at all. His role in there you go, like his role in Cable Guy.
Cable Guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I like out of as big as I'm a relatively at least at one time I was a pretty big Jim Carrey fan because of In Living Color, but Cable Guy was the one movie where he was like, all right, so I'm gonna just be like straight this entire movie and let the writing of this film sort of speak to the character. And that was sort of his first real foray into drama for me.
Yeah,
and
but did he pull off Psychotic?
Yes. Right, like so he pulled off Psychotic, but it wasn't funny. And I wasn't sure how to take it because I was so used to him being funny. You know what I'm saying? So that was my I was Cable Guy took me a couple of times to watch to really gain an understanding of what he was trying to do. And by maybe the third time watching it, I was like, okay, like I get it. This movie's actually super funny. Really, he's crazy, right? So like, it took me a little while to get into it.
He played more of the straight guy, but
100% straight in this movie, and it was just different than him because he's so over the top most of the time.
Right.
And then you look at the other films. Obviously, the over the top movies that he's done are they go without saying. And then you look at Truman and what's the other one? Yes Man. And even Yes Man is more comedy based. Truman is less comedy based, but again, the direction of the film was the direction of the film, and it spoke more for the film than Jim Carrey did, right? So it's just interesting guy. I would never compare Jim Carrey and Walton Goggins. So.
Well, let's just say this, man. The difficulty of someone with extreme comedic timing, somebody with nothing, the entire world admires how good someone's comedic timing is, and that's the way they accept you in that vein. Imagine how hard it is to have to go into a whole other genre and have people receive you in that way. Imagine the difficulty. Like, it took Robin Williams, one of the better, most talented comedic timing act. It takes some time for people to accept you outside of that vein. And so I just respect the dexterity that an actor like Jamie Foxx has, because he came into our world as a guy with great comedic timing.
Well, you know who you're describing, Nomad?
Who's that?
Let's say he's a Bears fan, and he used to have a namesake on the team that played offensive line, Bill Murray. Bill Murray's SNL back in the day when he was still young. All of the movies that he's done, have you busting a gut rolling. But then, later in his career, he's gotten more into dramatic acting.
Bill Murray can do no wrong, bro.
Imagine how long it takes for a guy like that to break into more serious roles.
Which it took him 40, 50 years.
I was going to say about 40.
These guys are doing it fairly at a young age.
Well, Jim had that gumption, right? Because he did things a little bit differently. Like Robin Williams, for instance, sort of had to work his way into it along the lines of what we're talking about with Bill Murray. Eventually, he got into that dramatic case scenario. Jim just made a ton of cash off of comedy and was tired of it. Right? He's like, I'm sick of acting like a fool all the time.
I'm tired of being everybody's jackass. I want something.
You know what I'm saying? Let me do something a little bit different, see if I can get paid doing that too. And that's why he sort of got into it relatively quickly. And I guess similar things could be said about Jamie Foxx, except Jamie, Jamie hasn't done that many true comedic movies. He's actually been more of a musician / stand-up comic, and then actor. Then actor, than actually.
I've heard
comedy.
I've heard more than one person, and I mean, when I say more than one, I'm talking about 10, 12 people over a span of time. People ask him the question, who's the most talented person in Hollywood? And I've heard his name at least 10 or 12 times.
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie fucking Foxx.
Yeah, no, he's a triple threat, or however many threat that they call him.
Yeah, no, I like when I kind of questioned that, I thought about it in the moment, and he can, because he can do it all, right? A lot of folks can really only do the one thing, and that's what they're good at, and that's what they're going to stick to. Jamie can kind of do all of the things, and I bet you he could, he's probably good at basketball too. You know what I mean? just to throw that out there as well. He can do all the things.
And Hobbs here, he's always like Steve Carell. Yeah, that's another guy. Came in mostly comedy, but he has dramatic chops.
You ever notice? And you guys ever notice that I've heard this being said a long time ago, and you have to challenge it depending on who you're looking at. But they say that the funniest comedians look funny. They're funny looking.
Mm.
And
some of them are funny looking.
He has to have a long ass nose, and they do really, really accentuate his nose.
Who? Jamie?
No, Steve Carell.
Oh, they do that with Steve Carell. The person that comes to mind when you make that particular comment is Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert Gottfried looks like he sounds. Rest in peace, Gilbert.
How are you doing?
I love that guy, man. His voice is ridiculous, but his sense of humor is also if y'all ever get the chance, check out the roast of oh man, I had her name in my head, now I'm blanking out.
Shit, Gilda Radner, Jane Curtin, one of them.
No, Jewish lady.
Jewish lady.
Comedian, actress,
Talking
singer.
about the lady with blonde hair, kind of chunky.
Not chunky, skinny as all heck. She does Fashion Police.
Fashion.
Like
Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers, brother. The roast of Joan Rivers. Holy cow. Gilbert Gottfried goes off the chain with it. And if you haven't seen it, you kind of need to see what he says in this. I will just say that he says that he has sex with Joan Rivers. And it is probably one of the funniest descriptions I've ever heard in my entire life. And it's top 5.
Because he talks like this.
One of the
that helps.
And there's nothing romantic about how he sounds.
One of the funniest MFers you'll ever see on screen is goddamn Martin Short.
He's goofy.
I don't like him.
He is.
And I'm Canadian. I'm supposed to like him. I
love the bromance between him and Steve Martin.
Man,
that worries me. I'm not sure if I find him funny either. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not sure if I find him funny either. Like, barring the jerk.
Shut your mouth.
I'm serious.
He's got one of the funniest dispositions in different scenes than you'll ever see in your life. Depending on what scene he's in, he's gonna poke out like a sore thumb. It doesn't matter who's on the scene with him.
Because he's very self-deprecating.
Yes. He's gonna make himself look like that. I mean, he doesn't care. And that's
I was watching Three Amigos the other day, man, and I was just like, man, like, Chevy Chase is one thing, and apparently he's a total asshole. But these other two guys, did I ever really find these two guys funny? And facts of the matter is, Martin Short, and again, I'm Canadian. Martin Short gets mad billing up here, y'all. I'm just saying.
Just now, I never knew he was Canadian, bro.
You didn't know?
Never. I didn't care.
Didn't he come from Kids in the Hall?
Okay. No, he came from Second City.
Second City, okay.
Which is
before Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, it's before Kids in the Hall. So there's a lot of Second City comedians wind up on Saturday Night Live and stuff. Yeah.
Well, Lauren Michaels connection.
He was on Second City.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's where that connection is born out of. But I just never, I don't know, man. Never really found Martin Short funny, man.
Hey, man, listen, to round out this conversation about Ray and this movie that Jamie, to me, hit out of the park. I think when we get through with the presence of Jamie and knowing that this is going to be, for Ray Charles, at least in his legacy, this is going to be something to be remembered. He did his damn part to the max. But the story was even as good as Jamie's acting. The story of Ray Charles, as best they can encapsulate that thing in this movie, was very traumatic. The time that he grew up, the things he went through, how he lost his sight, the drug addiction, the girls, the philandering, and, just him advancing at a certain stage in his life into what he, how his life climax is just incredible to watch.
Yeah. Good. Big shout outs to Jamie Foxx on that one, man. He did a bang up job. I'm going to have to spend some time and peep this for real one of these days, because I do
yourself a favor, bro.
I will. I'm very familiar with the talent that is Jamie Foxx. I just somehow didn't wind up spending the time to watch this film for some odd reason. I totally should have watched this. And shout out to the Scrolls for the Leslie Nielsen reference in the chat, man. I was at my conference today, and I was talking to. We're giving away swag. We're giving away socks, And I was talking to this guy. He came up to my booth. I looked down. He's wearing sandals. I was like, "Oh, surely you could use a pair of socks, sir." And he looked up at me. He's like, "Don't call me Shirley." And I was like, "Yes, I have a new level of respect for you, sir. You are clearly an Airplane the movie fan, and I have to shake your hand." But anyways,
all right, we gotta shift gears, man. We're gonna talk about some hip hop, some classic hip hop.
Where we going?
I'm gonna take you guys somewhere y'all ain't expecting to go, and we're talking about classic records. We got to give the South some love first. What you guys think about Outkast? This is not the first one. This is obviously the number 2. To me, this was their best record. To me, for my ears, I think. But I don't know.
Somebody,
go ahead.
Somebody read me the track list of this one. Trip, can you find the track list for me?
Oh yeah, Outkast, Aquemini. Yeah, I'm pulling that up now.
I think the Slick Rick collab was on this one.
So this is the 3rd album, right?
No, it's number 2, I think.
No. So the first one is Southern Playalistic. Second one is Elevators, right?
I think
Me and You.
All right.
And then this one is after Elevators.
All right, yeah, this came out in 1988.
1988? No. 98, 97, 97?
Hold on, let me get my damn spectacles.
96, 97.
All right, this says studio album, Aquemini, Outkast.
That's the one.
98.
98.
Hold On, Be Strong, Return of the G, Rosa Parks, Skew It on the Barbie, Aquemini, Synthesizer, Slump, West Savannah, The Art of Storytelling Part 1, The Art of Storytelling Part 2, Mamacita, Spotty Dolly Aspalicious, Y'all Scared, Liberation, and Chunky Fire. Those are the songs.
The tracks.
Aquemini album.
So this album, I went downtown to go and cop because, like, much like you were saying on when the album, new stuff come out for you guys on a Thursday?
Tuesday or Thursday.
Tuesday or Thursday. So I went down. I think it was Tuesday here. I went downtown to go and cop 2 albums that day, and the first one was the final A Tribe Called Quest album, which I believe came out that day as well, if not earlier in the week. And the second one was this album. And I slapped the first one in my CD player, as in A Tribe Called Quest, and I skimmed my way through it. And, you know, I didn't really like anything on it. I think I liked maybe a track or 2. They were okay. And then I put this in my portable CD player, man. Holy cow. I played this thing through multiple times just walking around downtown. Because, you know, I call it my rounds. I used to go do my rounds downtown. I'll explain what that is on another show. But yeah, man, I used to go do my thing, and damn, I could not take this thing out the CD player, and it lived in that CD player for weeks. This album, in my opinion, one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. That's my 2 cents on this. Spodioti is one of the dopest tracks of all time. The flow and progression of this album from front to back really shows you the dynamic between the pimp and the poet, as in, Dre and Big Boy. It really shows you the dynamic between the two. And this is at the height of the transition of the poet, right? The poet didn't really, at the first album, the poet didn't exist. Second album, the poet started. But this is the album where the poet really starts to shine. And this might, again, my opinion, should be in everybody's top 10 hip hop albums of all time, if not top 5. Damn, James, that's it, Scrolls. Yeah, man. Yo, one of my favorite tracks of all times. Love that. Love this album.
You know what sticks out to my ribs about this record? It's the live instrumentation on this record. And the idea that they can go somewhere that nobody else took music to in the rap genre. You know, nobody was doing what they were doing. And the closest thing you can get to something as funky as this record or some of the jazzy stuff that Tribe Called Quest was doing. Other than that, these guys stand out like a sore fucking fat red thumb. I mean, that particular track you're talking about, Scrolls, is so funky with the live instruments, the bass, the guitar, the horns. Like that, you know, everything is so synthesized in music nowadays, and it's one behind the other. But when you play live instrumentation and it's funky, this shit right here is spectacular. Kez is right, man. This is one of the better records of our lifetimes by two young cats out of Atlanta with a hell of a production team called I met one of them before. He passed away. Come on, help me out. The Dungeon Family. Dope, man. Dope. This one, that damn James, that one, and Art of Storytelling with Slick Rick. Two of the greater tracks on this one to me.
You know, something to be said about that particular artist you just mentioned. He's never made a bad album.
My bad.
Never made a bad album, Slick Rick. So feel free to grab access to any of his discography, and you'll see what I mean, including the new one that was recently launched. But damn, this album, man, from the beginning to the bitter end, one of my favorite plays through of all time.
I'm stuck on that damn. That
shit
right
you should be.
It's hypnotic.
You should be. And like when I say plays through though, it couldn't be placed at a better time during the playthrough. Right? It's like whoever's setting up the track list was like, yo, I can't put this at the top. Can't put it at the end. It's got to sit kind of like midway through, but a little bit towards the end. It has to be the crescendo of this LP. And he placed that. Whoever did it, he put it in the perfect spot, and it leads so well into this into that track. But most of the tracks on that album are masterpieces, man. They're so well done.
Dog, like Atlanta, literally. Like if you're around Chicago, and you know people you might think, you know, being in Canada, Chicago is this, is that. But if you go around people in Chicago and you get around some good people, Chicago is so effing soulful. It's a shame. Like somebody invite you to their cookout, their barbecue or something like that, and you probably be expecting, hey, they're gonna be playing a whole bunch of Kanye West and Twister and type shit. Nah, you probably won't ever hear that. You're gonna hear a bunch of soul. Because that's what Chicago is. Like Atlanta was the closest thing I ever seen to what Chicago is personally. You know, I'm talking about with personal people that have been, you know, living in this particular area. It's very soulful down there. Atlanta is very, very soulful. So is Chicago. And so that kinship, I felt right away when I got down there. And I knew I got to Atlanta long after this record was produced. But I understood where this record came from when I got down there. It's it's a very soulful place. And this record is extremely soulful. It's got its silly moments and, you know, crazy moments, but this is a very soulful record from two rappers that weren't necessarily rapping on all these tracks.
They're rapping on most of this stuff, if not everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything on there that didn't rap on.
Talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the damn James.
Yeah, my Spode Ode Dopalicious Angel. I remember that damn thing like yesterday, and he just kind of talked his way through it. Yeah, okay.
It's talking, you know, he's being soulful.
Yeah. No, it is this is in my opinion, this is truly a classic. This is really where this is strangely in my opinion, probably the true end of the reign of the East Coast. This is really where that ends. A Tribe Called Quest had basically, at least in my opinion, fallen off at that time, and the West Coast had a full foothold in what they were doing, and now the South is sort of laying some claim to what hip hop should be moving forward. So it was a real transitionary album, in my opinion, this particular album. But like I say, I love this thing from front to back. And I do also love most of all of their stuff. And it's kind of funny because, you know, that first album I was talking about, Southern Playalistic, it's a weird LP, man, but it's dope too. And there's a lot of instrumentation on that album as well, right? Feel free, you know, if you haven't had the chance to go back and really check it out, man. Really well put together.
CeeLo and 3000 was the star to that album to me.
Of this one, Aquemini?
No, of the first one, Southern Playlist.
Of the first one? Okay.
You know, the little story, little side story about Outkast, Dungeon Family, and how all this stuff was born out. And I agree with you. Wait a minute, where is it at? He said the 3000 verse on the song Aquemini is one of the coldest he's ever. You ain't lying about that. That's when I realized he was a real deal lyricist. Not too long after this, Benz and a Beamer came out on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. That shit's that's when he became a beast. Those two records right there you talking about, Aquemini and Benz and a Beamer, cold. But
and while you're bullshitting, while Andre 3000, you know, is a dope MC, his acting chops ain't half stepping.
Not at all. You thinking about the movie he played in with Mark Wahlberg, ain't you?
Mark Wahlberg. Which one was that?
They were all foster brothers or something.
I think it's called Brothers. I think the movie's called Brothers.
It might be.
Well, it wasn't that role particular. It was one where he was more vulnerable. You know, him trying to play the gangster role. Yeah, that really didn't fly.
He wasn't a gangster in that role.
Well, in the Brothers, he was. Well, he was the smart brother, but he was still one of their brothers.
Yeah. He was the more voice of reason than gangster.
Well, yeah, but voice of reason in a gangster world.
Yeah, okay, I could take that.
Yeah,
but
you know, he wasn't the emotionally charged or fly off the handle. You know, he was more thoughtful. He was book smart as well as street smart, and he played that role well because, you know, that's kind of his character. You can tell he's a smart kid just from his lyrics, just from his flow, just from the things he rhymes about and talks about, subject matter.
Four Brothers. That was
Four Brothers. There you go.
Four Brothers. Yeah, okay.
And so, and then he was in something else, but he's been in, you know, more dramatic roles even. And he's able to, you know, not look out of place.
I'll tell you a dope ass movie that, you know, might flew under the radar, especially with a lot of white people, is Idlewild.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
Was it good?
Very.
Yeah, do you never saw that one?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I don't really remember. Like, listen, I'm a bit conflicted with this particular artist's decision to delve elsewhere. He, in my opinion, easily top 5 rappers of all time. I don't give a shit what anybody says about this.
Give him top.
What's that?
Talking about Dre?
I'm talking about Dre. I'm talking about Dre.
Top 10.
Top 10, fair enough. Like Dre's Dre should be on everybody's list, and if he isn't, you're not paying attention. That much I will say. Even his cameos on other people's stuff over the years are like they're gems, that should be shined up once in a while, and you should sort of go back and listen to. But I really wish that guy did like. Did y'all ever listen to his flute album by chance?
I heard probably about 3/4 of it.
Okay, I listened to the entire thing.
It was different.
Yeah, he's stretching the game out. I love it. I love anytime somebody's being creative and trying to stretch the genre for himself. I was just interested that he had the nerve to put that out, and I was willing to listen to it, man. And I understood exactly where he was at. But
I did too. So I listened to the entire thing as well, and it kind of has the way he plays the flute kind of has MC timing to it. It's weird, y'all. Right? It's like when you would be, you'd be dropping. So like when he raps, he raps a lot more in different cadences than he like starting with this album. Maybe even with the album before, but not so much on Southern Playlistic. He starts utilizing different rhyme schemes and cadences that you don't see many rappers even attempt to do. And with the flute album, he just took the words out, and it became, flute blasts.
Yeah, it was his microphone.
It was flute blasts into the microphone as opposed to words. And it comes across all right if you're a fan of the flute. If you're an MC or a hip hop fan, you can kind of see what he's trying to do, and it makes sense. It just might not necessarily be your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to it, and I was really like, damn, like somebody needs to lock this brother in a room and like handcuff him to a microphone. You know what I mean? just force this guy to rap for the rest of his life because he's that good.
He's trying to tell you by not telling you through the flute that this is where my spirit is. And it's here, it's there, it's over there, it's over there. I'm expressing to you how my mind and my spirit is working right now. And I'm not going to tell you exactly how that is. I'm just going to express it to you, is what that sounded like to me.
It's just the cadences, right? It's like, here's the pattern and cadence that I would come up with for a rap, but I don't have the energy, time, or effort to really input the bars or the references or popular culture or any of that shit into this thing. I'm just giving you the framework of it in a different, with a different medium, and that medium was the flute. And it was, like I say, it was weird, but it was also kind of cool. I applaud the effort. I clearly the effort kind of fell short. Somebody lock this guy up and make him rap. Damn it!
All right,
please.
This is one of the best records ever produced in the rap genre. I don't even want to put a rap genre. This was just a record.
Period. Yeah.
But this don't sleep on what Outkast brought to the table in their time, and who knows what they might do in the future. But man,
we were talking about Dre, Andre 3000. What about what's my other dude's name? The producer?
Who Big Boy?
We got a
producer.
Side piece Keith. That's what he is.
But he's not really put out anything, has he?
He has. He has. He's put out a couple of things.
He put out a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. I just haven't been aware of it, I guess.
Yeah, he's put out a few things, and again, because unfortunately he's not like I said, the other guy is one of the, in my opinion, like 10 greatest rappers ever to exist. He's just not, Big Boy just isn't one of the 10 greatest rappers to exist. I ain't saying he's good or bad. He's all right. And that's the type of response he would get for the stuff that he's dropped after Outkast.
The difference between those two creatively is like a rag and a much desired relic.
You could have used any possible comparison here, and it would have been apt. Like it would have. I was thinking like water and fire. You know what I mean? Like just any general comparison of two things that are not related.
Was I wrong?
No, I'm saying you could have used anything and you would have been right. You were definitely right, man.
I don't want to put him down. I don't want to put Big Boy down, but that's the difference between the two. You know,
it's a vast difference. It is
huge difference, man. He's basically a one-trick pony, and Dre is like the constellation of the universe.
Yeah. Like again, Big Boy's a good rapper. He's a good MC. Period. You know, he does what most rappers do. You know, you have more or less a cadence that you use. You run that cadence. You spit bars around that cadence. People like the bars. They buy your stuff. That's not what Dre does at all.
No, that's why I never thought Big Boy as an MC.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, he rhymes, but no.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, Crimson. Big Boy is good, but Dre is great.
3000 is great. He's right. Well said. It's true.
All right. Let's jump into another genre before. Ooh. Let's just jump on this, man. Let's just jump on the obvious.
We're bending genres. What are we doing here? Where are we going?
Illmatic.
Oh.
In every.
That's not a
I don't
genre,
really respect. I ain't gonna say I don't respect them, but I take it for what it's worth to me. You know what I mean? If it's Rolling Stone, if it's Vibe magazine, old Vibe magazine, or any other magazine or any other platform that's rating what the best records of all rap records of all time are, this guy is going to be in the top 5, top 10 every time with this record, every single time. And you know, this is Young Nas, and if you look at the track list and the production on here during the time that this was you know, you talking to some hip hop historians here on the screen, y'all. I'm talking about No Maniacs and everybody listening to us. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share, and subscribe to all 3 channels, all 3 here on the Nomad Network, Sports Chicago Style, and Kez Canuck. Stop and do that for us. But you're talking to 3 hip hop historians is what you're dealing with. And so let's lead the conversation from there. The production on this record was elite for that era. Absolutely elite. It was the who's who in the production world, minus Eric Sermon. And I just remember I heard an Eric Sermon take on this, that he basically dissed Nas on this. He was just like, well, who is Nas? I ain't got he didn't know nothing about him. There was other producers that didn't get in on a production here, but it was a lot of Queens Bridge, you know, production, lyrics, everything in this record, man. If you listen to it closely and think about some of the guys that got involved in here, a lot of Queensbridge in here. But man, some of the dopest lyrics I ever heard. Of course, the most famous song off of this record, off of this, is lyrically some of the best shit I ever heard in my life.
All right, the songs.
Tell.
All right, Illmatic, studio album by Nas, 1994. The Genesis, New York State of Mind, Life's a Bitch, and Then You Die. Whose world is this? The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Halftime, Memory Lane, One Love, One Time for Your Mind. Dun, 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 dun. Represent. It Ain't Hard to Tell, the Laid Back remix. Go ahead.
Yeah. So remember that thing I was saying about the previous album being one of the best albums of all time? This is also easily in that same category. This album is also a bit of a cheat code with respect to how it became one of the greatest albums of all time. So I'm going to give you like the negative, and it's really easy to understand. In the era that we're talking about in music in general, you know, everybody was dropping a double album, 21, 24 tracks on an album. It was wild and crazy. This album has 10 songs on it, and I think 2 of them are intros. Speaking of intros, that Genesis intro, I've been waiting my entire life for somebody to steal that beat and destroy it. I've been waiting my whole life. It's one of my favorite beats of all time, and it's the drum sample is kind of off. I think it's like, I don't know what it is, but love that beat. But yeah, 10 tracks on this album. You listen to you get in and out of this album in like 45 minutes easy, maybe even less than that. And from front to back, classic. What you find out about young Nas, I think Nas was about 17 years old when he did this. I think he was 16 when he did his previous couple of tracks. He's probably about 17 years old. What you find out about young Nas is that this is the type of kid who would be sitting on the subway in New York, just riding the subway for riding the subway's sake, with a pen and a piece of paper, and just jotting down everything he sees, taking in observation of the city, the way the city moves, the way people in the city move, act, and interact, and blending that into what eventually becomes the rhymes on this LP. He's a very observant individual, this guy, and in that you find, the genius of Nas.
Great observation on that alone.
Yeah,
it's great observation on that alone. Somebody told me that Nas is like a thespian.
Yeah, he's. I wouldn't. I see what you're saying. Like he really gets into it, but it's more observation. He sees, he sees things and pulls it in and incorporates it into his rhymes. And some of his rhymes are so descriptive and crazy that you kind of go through this album, you're like, wow, like he really looked at the way that, he looked at the cycle of life from jail term, that he sees with friends within the area that he's grown up with, and how it affects them when they get out versus how they got there in the first place, and incorporated that into what he's the message he's trying to convey. And like I say, a brilliant, from a lyrical perspective, just absolutely a brilliant, compilation of thought. The production end, much like what you were saying, Nomad, the production end on this album, basically, they just put together a team of, like, I think it was like maybe 6 to 7 producers, something to that effect. It's a small contingent of producers, many of whom were from the Queens area, Extra P being one, Q-Tip being from Queens as well, and then Pete Rock, who's not from Queens, he's from Mount Vernon. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who else helped produce on this album. But like, there's
Large Professor.
Yeah, I said Extra P. Yeah, I said Extra P. So Extra P is Large Professor, same guy.
Yep.
Did Havoc produce on this album?
He produced on that.
Okay. So there's some more Queens.
I believe he did. This maybe not this one. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if he actually produced on this album. I don't think he produced on this album. I think.
Hey, before you keep going, I have to say this before I forget about it. But you talking about how he observes and how his process goes. I remember the first time I let somebody hear a beat that I did, one of the first handful of beats that I did. I'm talking about outside the studio where the person that I made my first beat at.
Mm-hmm.
I remember after I got my own equipment and started making my own stuff and making a bunch of it, I let somebody listen to like a few of them. And when he was a rapper, I just pulled the dude off the street, and he was just like, man, what the fuck do you be thinking about, man? I was just like, I observe, I process, and I deliver. Much like you talking about here with Nas, it's in a lyrical way he does that. That's the same thing that happens with people that produce music. You observe, you process, and you deliver a certain something that you observe in your way.
Well, his way is Nas has always been, since he's been on the scene, in his delivery for his rhymes, his movie roles, whenever he dabbles into that area. He's a very stoic kind of fella.
Eclectic.
He's not a laughing, cracking jokes. He's always serious. He's looking at the serious side of the life and the death that kids referred to. Rikers Island to the projects, to the subways. His reflection of society is dark. Because he's come from dark places, and it just kind of flows through his lyrics, his whole persona is just very like.
He's a thoughtful guy.
Yeah.
You know what else
to
bring to layer onto that? One thing that shouldn't be left out in his upbringing, he was raised by a jazz musician.
Yeah, Uladera.
Yeah, his dad was, just imagine growing up in a house full of jazz music, a horn player, and how deep in thought you probably would be listening to jazz your whole life. And jazz will bring that out of you. It's a very, I don't know who listens to jazz or even is interested in listening to jazz, but jazz, the melodic quality that comes out of jazz will produce deep thought just by way of the sound of that music. There's something in that melody that produces deep thought.
Yeah, if you're a horn player, if you're a horn player, you're going over top of the standard framework of the music in front of you. You're literally creating the sound, and that requires introspection. It requires observation. So I'm right there with you with what you're trying to describe there, and sort of seeing his dad Uladera go through his creative process would likely have influenced Nas in some capacity. But man, like on this album, you really get to see what he was trying to do, and it makes perfect sense. And then it was just a question of taking those etchings while he sat on the subway and putting it onto and put it onto some of the greatest production available of the time, and they really secured that. It doesn't matter who you're talking about. Any of those producers on this album did some of their best work, period.
That guy's thought process is underrated. I mean, it's almost like when you start really thinking about it, it's like listening to, if you've never heard a Thelonious Monk album or anything like that, you probably should. It's a treat. Yeah. Listening to Thelonious Monk and then turning on an LL Cool J record right after that is kind of how you can describe Nas. He's coming up in two different worlds at the same time. Yeah. And what's coming out of his mind and his mouth is a product of both of those worlds.
Yeah, that's a very good description of what he did on this album. And again, I truly appreciate this album. This is easily one of my favorite albums of all time. I do go back and listen to this every so often because it still tracks to a certain degree. But like I say, bit of a cheat code on this one because it's only 10 songs. I wish this album had closer to 18 to maybe 20 songs on it. Strangely, if it did, I don't think it would be anywhere near as good as this 10 song compilation. During our in the era of this album, to me, this is much more of an EP, an extended play, than it is an LP.
Okay, I can take that. I mean, just by the sheer number of tracks.
Length, 100%.
Yeah, I can. At that time, I imagine that was a little bit short of the standard, but right there around a standard at that time.
No, it was literally almost 50% of the standard, if not.
I take that.
Yeah, if not less than 50%. I cannot say that it dilutes the quality of this album. Album quality is, like I'm gonna say like 98% album quality, because again, they pulled any fodder or any BS tracks that they might have even put onto this thing out, and they were just like, yo, these are 10 of the dopest songs ever. have to be incorporated in this album. Here you go.
But
everything else we flush.
It ain't hard to tell was like that shit was magical. I don't know if I'm captivated with his lyrics this is a young boy that's giving these deep, dope ass lyrics. This is a boy. And the production on there, kids, don't do that because we can hear all that.
Oh, really? Sorry.
Yeah, loud. But the horns on that bridge, it ain't hard to tell when the horns start blaring. That shit is dope. Wherever that sample came from and how he played it into that.
Wasn't that Human Nature, Michael Jackson?
That's just what I was about to say. I thought it was a Human Nature sample.
I think part of the beat is Human Nature, but I don't know that those particular horns were Human Nature. I think there was two different samples there.
I don't remember the horns.
The most of the beat was Human Nature, like the ambience in the background. That's all Human Nature.
Yeah.
But the horns I think those are cut from some other sample. That's just me knowing music. I'm telling you, that's not the same thing. But that shit is dope. But that line, those couple of bars when he goes into Nas is like an Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing. Think of how deep of a thought kid this guy must have been at that age to come up with a bar like that.
Brother,
Nas is like an Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing.
Brother, I'm just saying. The stuff on this album is super impressive. Personally, though, you know, his two, like the two verses I like the most aren't all in this album. They're either it's just before this album or just after. So just after this album, it's on Verbal Intercourse on the Purple Tape, Raekwon. That's my favorite hip hop verse, period. The other one,
if I
what's that?
Was the best all around Nas track in my opinion. With Lauryn Hill.
Like people love that song. I don't love it as much as other people, and it's just because of the general commerciality of it. But people love it.
Like the Wonder Twins, man, to me.
Yeah, I won't take anything away from it. But I actually really like his first verse. So in the chat, King Booker was talking about MC Search and how Search helped get him put on. Search is a bit of a dick for coming out and saying it like that. Yeah, he kind of helped Nas get he helped Nas get a deal as basically as a like low wallet share A&R to become an A&R. All right. That also incorporated putting him on a track on the MC Search album at the height of Nas being hyped up. And Nas was being hyped up because of the verse I'm talking about, which is the verse off of Live at the Barbecue on the Main Source album, which is mainly produced by two Canadians. I'll put that out there, and Extra P, Large Professor. But his verse in Live at the Barbecue is crazy. And it's just a 16-year-old Nas who cares about absolutely nothing but writing the dopest track of the time. And he might have. Like his verse is like, I'm not even gonna repeat the stuff he says in this verse because it's not really what you find from Nas ever again. It's just, you know, Nas filled with testosterone, you know, friggin', you know, just being wild with it, right? Just open-ended and wild. And it is a crazy verse, man. For those of you who haven't heard it, Live at the Barbecue, Main Source. First verse from Nasty
Sleep
Nas.
good. Hey, sleep good, Crimson. Sleep good.
Right on, Crimson.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we got go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm trying to remember that verse, and I'm sure I can, but you know, thanks to Howard in the chat, now all I can think of is the 5 Heartbeats because they brought up old Eddie Kane Jr.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't think of any other song, but nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall.
We're gonna do one more, and trust me, y'all, I got like 3 more to do, but we need to get up out of here. If y'all want to, we can do it, but we can stop here.
Yeah, we can do one. We can do one.
One
more is good.
I'm gonna try to get a good one. All right, this is gonna be a good one, I guess, for the out of town guy.
Raindrops would fall.
Okay, I can do this.
There you go. Business is unfinished business. EPMD. One of my favorite records ever. All their records are one of my favorite records ever.
So I'm one of those people who had every single EPMD album like as a collection. And shout out to my boy CJ for that, because he had most of it and just prompted me to go get the rest of it. This album is which album? This album is number 2 or 3.
Second one.
Now this is Unfinished Business album by EPMD 1989.
Yeah.
So what you're saying?
There
Total chaos. Get the Bozak.
No Mass Confusion. Sorry, keep going.
Jane 2. Please listen to my demo.
Haircut like Anita Baker.
It's time to party.
What's that song that comes on like don't.
That's the next album. That's Manslaughter.
No. That's
Who's Booty? The Big Payback. Strictly Snapping Necks. Knick Knack Patty Whack. Give a Dog a Bone. Ayo. You had too much to drink, and if it wasn't,
you overdid it, Holmes.
We're gonna get some big. Hey, Howie, keep tuning in, man. Howard, we're gonna get some big. We could have got to it tonight, but we ain't gonna be able to get to it tonight.
Rough. Yeah, this is one of the, it's not like it should not be in people's top 10 albums of all time or anything like that. Personally, I don't think so. But
hip hop, come on, man, stop.
I'm just saying it is definitely one of my personal favorite albums. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm going to say. If people want to, people out there love this album, I agree with you, because this album holds a special place in my heart. The song "So What You Saying" might be, in my personal opinion, it might be one of the most important hip hop tracks ever written, and it's quite literally asking rappers like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah, like that's what the song is about. And we've gone through a sort of an era in the year 2026 where rappers were just mumbling shit, and people were like, "Yes, this is awesome," and nobody was asking, "So what you saying? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you saying something? Do you actually have some kind of a message? Is there anything of substance in this?" No? Cool. But not cool at all.
Let's think about the 2 guys that's on the image here, and their choice in vehicles. One takes a big body Benz. One takes looks like a TA or something, a Trans Am or some kind of Camaro or something. Whatever it was, but think about how different that is. It tells you a lot about each one of their personalities.
Man.
That's one little side piece, but the music, we all know the music comes from E.
Whoa.
Well, whoa, my ass, we know that. That's
not at this present time. That wasn't true. They split on.
See, stop.
No, they both did.
Give me.
Are you trying to tell me that PM
one goddamn record that Paris is responsible about that became a hit?
You're saying that Paris Smith did none of the production on this album?
Look, everybody, just look at the interviews, man. Just look at the interviews, and you will know everything you need to know. Paris was the guy that was running business. E was the one in the studio doing the records. He ain't got nothing really to do. He might have brought a sample to E. E went and tore it up. But yeah, he's not a producer.
Okay. I don't take your word for that. My understanding at this present time, he was doing some of the production, and eventually he wound up giving all the production to Eric because Eric was better at it. The songs that Eric did produce were actually the more, the things that people would consider hits, right? That came off of this album.
You know how I figured it out, kids? It's
No.
when they broke up. When they split up into the Def Squad and the Hit Squad. And all the hit songs that the Hit Squad had, meaning Doc's Effects, all those were Eric Sermon produced records. They just split up, and he took Doc's Effects and their music. Eric took Redman, and the list goes on from there. But Doc's Effects is Eric Sermon produced music.
I think you're wrong.
I'm telling you, I'm not. I don't care who got credit for it. They told the truth on that together, sitting together in an interview.
Maybe you're right. So I'm just trying to hold on a second. So Hit Squad became DOS Effects PMD. DOS Effects PMD. What's his name? Magnum Opus. I'm blanking out on the name of the rapper right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And maybe Top Quality was the name of the rapper. And then then also the two white dudes that never dropped an album.
Exactly.
So the other side of this is Keith Murray, Redman,
K Solo,
Eric Sermon, K Solo, who just sort of came.
All had hits.
Well, the only reason I'm saying is like K Solo didn't do much after. Like he had his he has an album that was again like more part of the original Hit Squad before the split. Right? K Solo after didn't really drop an album. He just dropped a couple of tracks here and there. And they're dope tracks.
He got more down with BDP.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm trying to tell you, the more talented of the two, we found out as soon as they split up.
I agree. I completely agree that we found out that not only did we find out that Eric Sermon was more talented, we found out that he was a very talented producer. We also found out another piece to the puzzle here, which is a major piece. So Eric Sermon, in producing certain things directly after the split, got sued for sample clearance by Parliament P Funkadelic.
Yep.
And it cost him somewhere in and around $1 million to secure the use of Parliament's, like one of Parliament's more famous samples. I believe it's right off of Atomic Dog. That being the case, a lot of the production by Eric Sermon after leaving EPMD was rooted around utilizing the sample because he spent $1 million on it. And I don't blame the guy. The upside is a lot of stuff was just like, you sample that song, you're just getting funky shit. I don't care what's going on. You know what I mean? It's
Redman's first record.
What's that? All over Redman.
All over Redman's first record.
All over that album for sure, man. What the album has, you cannot have What the Album without that Parliament P Funkadelic sample. But he continued to use it on most of the other stuff that he dropped. Watch Your Nuggets, which is off of another track, another album. His stuff on Who's the Man soundtrack was again also heavily rooted in that sample. He really worked that sample to death, and it helped him, man. It helps really solidify him as a production mind, and not just the Green-Eyed Bandit second rapper in EPMD. So I truly have to say that. You know what I mean?
The difference between, like, just to go and prove a point for you kids and what you just said, the layer onto that, you think about who you give great production credit to, somebody that takes samples and other people's music and twist it into their own version of what they want to do with it. That takes a certain amount of talent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The real talent comes when he just got taken to the bank about all the sampling that you're doing, because the first EPMD record was all sampling, second record was all sampling, Third record, there's a lot of sampling there, but after that, when Eric Sermon did his first solo record, that's when I realized that, okay, this is a lot of him producing every knick-knack, tic-tac in that beat, because he got tired of getting taken to the cleaners about all that sampling.
Well, you explaining? No, you're right. Like, you explaining that also explains like the amount of sampling time that a machine would give you during those, like, each one of those years up until that split. So, in 1989, you could probably get about 8 seconds of sample off of a machine. So that's why you're probably not going to get sued, because it's such a small piece of data looped or chopped up and then manipulated that it's harder to discern. Once you get up to 1993-ish, you can probably do 32 seconds to 64 seconds.
Isn't that the TR-808 era?
There you go. Right. So now you're getting closer to TR-808. You can do things a little bit longer, and the samples become more recognizable. So now it's like, oh shit, that's my song. I swear that's my song. I'm gonna sue this motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's basically how things progress up until the next 5 years, and you really get like, you can sample an entire song if you want and do whatever you want with it. Right? Just sort of a progression. But he got caught up in it, and he got sued in a major way, and figured, you know what? If I got to pay these royalty checks, I'm gonna get my money out of it.
And rightfully so. I mean, they should sue him, and that's no. The record companies are supposed to clear that for him. He shouldn't see any ramifications to that, but the record company left it on him. You know what I mean? It's just bad business practices all the way around. If you're going to use somebody's stuff, as soon as you hear the record and find out that it's a sample from this artist and that artist, I just always hated the way that has been going about in the music business. That there's so many people that have had their shit just abused and not received compensation for it, and the structure of the music game just blocks out all these artists that make all this original great music. It sickens me. As much as I love EPMD, whoever that record company is, Sleeping Bag Music, they should have been taking that, right to the chin.
Of course.
It ended up being Eric Sermon.
The way it should have worked is, you produce your album, you submit that to Sleeping Bag. Sleeping Bag vets the album, recognizes what samples are on the album and that might cause and create a lawsuit. You then go to, whoever holds the license for those songs or owns the intellectual property, and you make them an offer. Hey, look, my artists have sampled this song. What would you like for it? And you go right up front. You spend the money, you secure the license, and then you release the album. This comes out of the overall take that the album makes, and Eric Sermon is off to the races doing his thing. It's not like a personal lawsuit for $1 million that he has to pay out. Mind you, people are greedy.
Hey kid, probably the most used sample in the history of hip hop music. It's probably a song called "Think" by Lynn Cowell.
You better think.
Don't think.
Yep.
Probably far and away, and you probably got some funkadelic stuff in there.
I was just gonna say, I think Atomic Dog is a close second.
It's probably right up in there. Maybe some Roger Troutman stuff in there. But I guarantee you, just to show you the nastiness and the filth of the music industry, I guarantee you she really sees none of those residuals if she's still alive.
A, she's not alive. B, if it goes to her family, it's been renegotiated at for pennies on the dollar, and somebody is sitting somewhere raking in all the dough every time that thing is actually played. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy, man.
Master.
Yeah.
That's the very first record, and pretty much the only one I say two that I've ever been tempted to sample. I still haven't sampled.
Really?
stuff. Nah, I don't mess around, man.
I was just like, I wouldn't even, because it's so recognizable under normal pretenses.
It's personal to me. It's personal to me. It's not about what I want. It's about, okay, if I use it, who's going to get the money for it? In other words, so if I use it, who's going to benefit? I ain't giving you no. I know I can tear that fucking sample up, but it's going to pay somebody else outside of the people that deserve to be paid.
That's it. Tricky industry with respect to all of that. But
tricky.
Back to the album itself, I think please listen. They just did an updated video for Please Listen to My Demo very recently. So by all means, go check that out. It's actually kind of cool.
Anime video.
No, it's not anime. It's just updated. It's Eric and Parrish.
Anime version of it out there too.
Really? Okay. Maybe I don't think there was any anime in the one I saw, but there's a cool updated one. I just saw it the other day. Love that song as well. Love the sample in that song. It's one of the most classic hip hop samples. But again, this album from front to back is in my opinion a hip hop classic. I used to bang this album out all the time. And it goes right down the line with the rest of their albums. I'm a huge EPMD fan. To this day, truly am. Love Eric Sermon and all his stuff, and at the same time, Parrish Smith. Not to take anything away from Parrish, man. Batman gets mad respect to me. PMD gets mad respect from me because the slow flow, man, is underrated, is all I really have to say about it. He's saying exactly what he needs to say without any level of additional haste, and he's putting it down the right way, man, every time.
And then something else about this album cover that you wouldn't realize unless you were there, but it's like the Jordans, the Chevy IROC Z, Camaro. Back in the day, the fisherman hats,
and the fisherman's hats, that was their thing.
Identity.
That was the flavor. That was the drip. That's what it was.
Is he wearing a bat utility belt on this cover? Where's people? Oh, you can't see it.
You can't see it because he's wearing the baggy gear. The Zumbas. The bodybuilding pants and like the baggy stuff.
Yeah.
The 4-finger rings.
This is a timepiece just looking at this cover, but at the same time, like he used to rock a bat utility belt and it was like his thing. He used to call himself Batman.
Yeah. I got so much more respect for Eric Sermon when I start thinking about the simple things. Before he even ever donned a microphone, when he was just in the studio making beats and doing the kind of things that's getting him attention. Whatever he was doing, it takes a whole lot of nerve in the height of when hip hop is kind of starting to generate some momentum. He gets on the mic with a lisp.
And you know what? I know a lot of rappers. Who rap with a lisp.
More dope, kids. It made his delivery sound even more dope.
I fully agree. I know a lot of rappers who rap with a lisp, and
but I bet you never heard of one before this.
Well, not before Eric.
There's Marky.
There's one, right? There's strangely a lot of them, and they want
to. Cool G Rap.
Cool G Rap is one of the most famous ones, actually. His lisp is terrible.
Good points, man. But I don't know if I heard. I did.
You know what?
I heard G Rap before I heard Eric.
It would have been almost the same time, right? Like it would be around the same time. G Rap is Symphony is probably before this, so you probably actually did hear G Rap before EPMD, probably, right? But so something we didn't talk about with Nas is G Rap is like his mentor. Right. So G-Rap used to record with Nas and write with Nas early on. And part of the recording piece, because of G-Rap's lisp, G-Rap only raps a bar at a time when he's in the studio. He raps the bar and puts it on pause, and then he'll rap the next bar. Unpause, rerun the tape, and he'll rap the next bar.
Because his bar is so goddamn thorough.
What you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't really notice he has a list when you listen to him rap, but
because
he's got
it's authentic, but it's not a flow.
It's not. It's
edited.
You ever heard Road to the Riches?
Yeah, his album. Yeah.
Him and DJ.
About the song Road to the Riches.
So, yeah.
The song Road to the Riches kind of defines what you're talking about, kids.
Yeah.
That delivery style when he's recording. Because there's no way he just kept on rapid firing that.
With his, or even there's so many examples, right? Like any of the stuff that he did.
Talk like sex. You can hear it.
Thank you. That's where I'm going. Or the stuff he did with Cunning Linguist, or even Fast Life with Nas. None of these tracks he could really just do one time, right? Like he's doing
like a Big Daddy Kane.
No, he's doing a bar at a time, putting it on pause, rewind, edit, cut, replay it up until when, and then I'm coming over top with the next two, next bar, maybe next 2 bars, pause. We're gonna do the next 2 bars, and it's a bit of a process, but it works. And that's how Nasty Nas originally learned how to record his music. But
then if you listen to G-Rap in any kind of concert or live performance, you can't miss the lisp.
No, it's ever present. It's huge.
If you really listen to G-Rap's lines, every line is a punchline.
Yeah, and some of them are, brother. Some of them are some of the best punchlines in rap, bro. Like to this day, he has not lost a step at all.
No, he's one of the dopest lyricists of our time. Period.
Yeah, he is.
What era either?
Mm-hmm.
No, I fully agree with this statement.
Talk like sex.
It's bad. Just a bad boy, man.
Get your ass like a guy.
G-Rap is like one of your favorite rappers' favorite rapper.
He should be, right? Like if you're paying attention, he should be your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. He's definitely up there on the list for me. Just a crazy influence, but he gets raw though. He gets raw with it, man.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of attitude that came with that too, because over the years, all these other guys, you had Master H, you had Kane, you had Biz, and all these guys from that Juice crew that got all this, recognition. And he's the guy, that didn't get really any of it other than he had a couple of joints here and there, but that makes a dope lyricist even hungrier. Is because he knows he's dope as shit, but ain't nobody really checking for me, and that's gonna make your bars even more dope.
But he was also kind of an asshole in person too.
Oh, was he? Did you get to meet him?
Him and somebody else. They were in town for a show, and I was with Third Rail, who was doing the last crate over at WCRX Columbia College.
Okay.
It was a Thursday night mix show that he did, and he would have the underground hip hop artists of the time come through.
Yeah.
And this particular night, Cool G Rap and one of his guys came through. Not an MC, but he was just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm all that," and it was like, "Nah, fuck you." And so basically, the attitudes kind of leveled off once he realized that we wasn't putting him up on no pedestal, or we get down like I get down, like we get down. It's like, hey, yeah, we enjoy your work, but that attitude, that's not flying, homie. And so he realized who we were, and so it ended up being all right. But he's very let's say New York abrasive.
What do you mean?
That's a term. You know how people from New York can be kind of like over the top and like back off.
I know what he means.
You ever seen G-Rap in an interview?
Yeah, I don't really pay attention though.
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you this. Every bit of what we were talking about having the nerve to be on a microphone and being a rapper with a list comes through in his interview, and the fat tongue and how he communicates. It's why you don't see very many interviews with G-Rap, is because he doesn't speak very well. He can articulate himself very well, but it just doesn't come across because of the lisp, and he knows it. And he's self-conscious.
Yeah, you got that self-conscious thing going on.
Yeah, I mean,
but you would think as an MC that you've already worked your way through that, because obviously your voice is going to be out there. But hearing how he recorded, so he was able to hide the lisp for a better, term, and so it's a sore spot for him.
It had
as
to be.
Opposed to somebody like Biz who couldn't give a fuck and accentuated it.
Biz is probably, if I had to rank hip hop, I'm talking about hip hop, not just particular artists. If I had to think about hip hop and what hip hop is, and if it had a face and a sound and a person, it would be Biz. Because Biz he just epitomized hip hop to me. I mean, even as goofy as wasn't a lyrical guy at all, but I mean, but him and his presentation and how he went about hip hop is what hip hop should be to me. I mean, he is the epitome of hip hop to me. Biz Markie, that face, his image, the big dookie ropes, the loud chains, the big hats, and that is hip hop to me.
Because he was hardcore when he needed to be with give me some hardcore a Biz line or song, kids.
I don't know any hardcore Biz lines, man.
Okay,
I gotta
be vulnerable.
For real about that. Biz is dope, man. He's got some.
He's not. I don't mean hardcore like gangster. I mean hardcore like he's from the hood. He knows how the streets are, but he's kind of like, hey, it's whatever because we going to the mall, and
he's partying, man.
It's not hardcore, but it's Albee Square Mall. He's kind of in love, but he's vulnerable because she's only just a friend. He's serious, but he's self-deprecating. I got
very self-deprecating. Yeah.
I
gotta doo-doo. I gotta doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not hardcore.
Side, he had his vulnerable side. He had his fun side. He had his self-deprecating side, and that was all hip hop. That's an embodiment of what it is. It's not just one motif or one thing, but Biz had all of those kind of things in one embodiment of an MC, and he was just fun. And that's
he was fun. He was having fun.
Here's a couple of bars for you that explain who Biz is, and I'm talking about his delivery was so unique and how he presented. It's a line. I think it's Go Bismarck. It goes, ha, 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 ha. Check out this bizarre rapper style used by me, the BIZMARKL with the EN. You will be agreeing. Just spelling came from Biz in a rap. That's where, K-Solo.
All his shit was, he was original.
Yeah, absolutely. At the time, for sure. Nobody else had done it like nobody else really did it like Biz did it.
That's why he said it. He started off the line with ha 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 ha. Check out this bizarre rapping style used by me, the BIZMARKL with the EN. It's just the dopest shit ever to me. Just that right there is the dopest shit ever. I'm like, you bad. And the beat hitting at the same time.
Yeah.
Go off.
Right. That was a nice album, nice conversation right there. PMD, Unfinished Business, leading into a little G rap, leading into some more Biz. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop. That's what it's all about.
Real hip hop, man. When hip hop was just absolutely, it was let's just say innocent. It's the best way I can describe what it was versus what it is now. The innocence, it was just all bars, beats, and little competition came in there when competition came with MC Shan and KRS-One and the bridge is over, all that kind of stuff. But it was honest to goodness, battling on a microphone. That's it.
Right on. And shout out Howard, who's been hanging out, Howard Hall, loving the hip hop conversation. And once again, nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. Bumped out of my head for MC8 Gia. The Minister Society from that soundtrack. Growing up in the hood.
Hey,
give me my joint, fool.
One of the next few breakdowns we do about records, just giving y'all a heads up and chat, stay alert, and give me some comments. Give us some comments in all 3 shows. We're gonna break down the dopest soundtrack you've ever heard.
Minister Society, Spawn.
Ooh, yeah. It might be a little tense there, man, because I got some ideas.
What was
it might not even be rap.
The Mario Van Peebles. He had a movie with Big Daddy Kane and was Father Time.
About
it was a Western
and shit. Damn.
They were
outlaws movie too.
Isn't that a Western movie?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But that soundtrack was pretty dope.
It was actually a good soundtrack, bro. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't.
I tell you a dope ass soundtrack that ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, but just dope from beginning to end. It's fucking Love Jones.
Blow, not Blow. Check that. Not Blow. The other one where they were undercover cops.
All right, let's not litigate the soundtrack. Let's do this.
Now I got to look it up.
We're gonna have to do this on another show, y'all.
All right.
We got to get up out of here because that can turn into another 2-hour long conversation, guaranteed. Because there's so many dope soundtracks out there. I'm about to name drop some shit, but I'm not gonna do it, y'all. We're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up because my man is in somewhere in the bum F's ends of Canada somewhere where it's probably somewhere where there's been some juice going on around him in the bed.
Rush. There we go.
Rush.
1991. Dope soundtrack. Check it out.
Okay.
Jason's Lyric. That's a dope. Ooh,
Jason's Lyric is a good soundtrack. So is man. Shit. What's the one with Tupac?
With Janet Jackson?
No. That's Jason's Lyric.
Who's the Man?
No, not Who's the Man.
It's a hip hop record. The Show. The Show is a dope soundtrack.
The Show's a good soundtrack too. That's not
a dope soundtrack.
There's one with Tupac and Domino primarily on it.
I'm telling you, that's The Show, probably.
Maybe.
I'll guarantee it's The Show.
I'll figure it out. But there's a couple. There's a few. But to be honest with you, like my dopest soundtracks for me probably might not have any rap on it at all.
Yeah. Can't save it, man.
Judgment Night.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna do a whole other show.
All right, that's a good one too, Trip. That's a good one too, man.
Shut up, Trip. Stop.
Oh, my all right. We're gonna stop doing this. We're gonna call this a night. Canadian needs to sleep and get up early in the morning and sell stuff. So, big ups to all y'all in the chat, man. Big ups to Howard, man. Good to have you in. I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. Big shout outs to my boy The Scrolls for keeping us laughing as per normal. Shout outs to Shorty and Foster for coming through from BCP, AC Adam, Leo Factor, Corny Squalls, number 2, No Maniac. Big ups to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Shout outs to Crimson as well for being here through the better part of the show. FFG, man, I saw you out there, man. Shout outs to you as well. Good to have you as per normal. I think that's about the bulk of the list that I'll go through tonight. But next week I'll be back at it, back in the Ked Cave doing the regular thing, and we'll get to the regular fare. Same token, I'll be back on Sunday at home, and we'll get into into Bears, and maybe this time we'll talk about the fun jazz that is the stadium debacle, which we've been heroically ignoring. Because
I'm just gonna produce that show. I'm just gonna let you motherfuckers rag
it. You got no interest in that conversation at all, and I'm totally with you. It is a silly, ridiculous conversation to be had, and I guess maybe we'll just get into it real quick and get the heck out of it.
Right on. Big up to everybody. We got a little OTA camp going on. You got video game covers, and I think there's an actual full release tomorrow. Settle down, Red Baron. Of something to do with the Madden game or commercial or something. And so look forward to that. But yeah, and then back with you Sunday night to discuss what's happened between then and now. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. But make sure you are subscribed to all 3 channels for all 3 of the creators that are with y'all Sunday and Wednesdays at the Nomad Network, Kids of Canuck, and Triple R SCS Sports Chicago Style.
Hey man, this was a fun show from beginning to end for me. It was a relaxing show. Not only because I didn't have to put some of the extra work into doing some of the other segments, but just because I needed a night like this to just relax, man. The stuff that I've been up to, I just needed some good time to just kick it about some cool shit to talk about without any of the extra drama. You know what I mean? These were great subjects, man. In my opinion, all the stuff we talked about with the Bears, Ben Johnson being aggressive at the podium, Caleb getting the conversation that came out of that, with Caleb getting the cover and Devin not even getting a wink at a cover during his era. That was all good shit. But when we got down into movie review and these record reviews, man, that's fun to me, man, because I think you guys know by now we're all thoroughbred hip hop enthusiasts on this show, man. All 3 of us, man. That's one of the fun things about these 2 guys for me is that we have in common. We just fucking love hip hop. We just absolutely love it. And so we don't really speak on some of the stuff that's out there now because I'll be honest with you, I don't think either one of us are interested in a whole lot of it. And it's just not fun. But some of the stuff we talked about tonight, some of these records, shout out to the young guys that's making this music right now. Even though I'm not a fan of most of the stuff that comes out, I do support what you do, the best you can do to get any money you can get out of it, make some life decisions that are better, cash, put your money in the bank and, move different when you're out here in the world, man, because the stuff you say on the mic has real world consequences, bro, in this day and age. So just want to say that before we get ready to get out of here and say thank you guys for being here. Fill in the comment section on all 3 channels for us. Give us some soundtracks y'all want to break down. I'll give us a handful of them to really rate, and we'll shake it up and see which one we think is the best, and break them on down like that. But that should be a fun conversation because that's one of the music genres or record genres that doesn't get discussed a whole lot. Is where are the best soundtracks? And they don't all have to be hip hop. Just for the record, y'all, give us your best soundtrack. I don't care what genre it is, who made it for what movie, whatever it was. Could be a play or something. I don't care. But let us know, man. We'd like to hear back from you in the comment section about that and any other thing you heard on the show. Give us the feedback. We appreciate it because we will holler back at you. But I just want to leave everybody with these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.